Dagna 1 and 2, the hairpin, spoon curve, 130R, the Casio chicane. These corners make up Formula One's sole figure of 8 circuit on the calendar, and if you guessed correctly for the corner names and the figure of the circuit, you'll have guessed correctly if you said Suzuka in Japan, which is where we are. I'm your commentator Riggs, and alongside me in the booth is Freeman from SLR's First Division. Freeman's joining me alongside to cover from Merckx. And Freeman, what I just introduce yourself, give us your pitch on and what your thoughts are on the Suzuka circuit.
Yeah, but I'm SLR Freeman. I'm the reigning Div 1 champion. Obviously, so I'm in Div 1. I drive for Ferrari, so I'm rooting on Scott and Sprightway this session. So hopefully, get a good session for them. Yeah, we're here at Japan, as you see, in rainy conditions, and yeah, it could be very interesting. I love this track and a lot. I just find it really satisfying and really flowy, especially the S's. If you nail it, you can get some really good traction and just flow really nicely. But yeah, I love this track. It's one of my favorites, and yeah, it'll be interesting this session to see how everyone gets along.
Suzuka itself is, I'm on board with Scott Laney as he's the first to go out on a flying lap here in intermediate, so he'll be the first to properly test these conditions as he's gone about in his lap. Obviously, the lap will give it, and Scott Laney's got the rears in a bit of a hustle there on the exit of Degna 2, yellow flags out in Sector 1. But Japan's very iconic in Formula One's lifespan. We've been coming to Suzuka since 1987, and there has been a lot of championship deciding history here at Suzuka, whether it be Senna and Prost, 88, 89, 90, whether it was Hakkinen and Schumacher, the late 1990s, early 2000s.
Scotland.
I think Sebastian Vettel and Scott Laney spun there on the camera there, and even Sebastian Vettel clinching championships here at Suzuka as well. So it's seen its fair few title deciders in its day. The nature of the circuit itself is very narrow, and as what Freeman was saying, it is a very free-flowing circuit. It is, well, from what I've picked up in terms of like personal opinion and racing leagues on the Formula One game, it kind of provides a stark contrast in relation to the opinions of real-life Formula One drivers, because in real life, you've got Lewis Hamilton, Sebastian Vettel, you've got Max Verstappen, Kimi Räikkönen, all the kind of current grid saying this is their track, this is a driver's track, this is where they look forward to commenting the most. And when you look at the league racing, it's the exact opposite. Is there any suggestion to why that might be, or as we've got a couple of folks spinning, we've got Gareth and Grand Prix there spinning turn 4 and turn 9 there respectively.
See a lot of guys going off very early. Sorry, a lot of guys are going off very early, I must say. So obviously very tricky condition. So it'd be tough for them, I would say.
Definitely, like, because it looks like it's just a bit of drizzle. It's just a bit of rain. Like, it's no exactly heavy, and plus these intermediates, and the track doesn't even look that greasy either.
Bad.
It just looks like it's it looks like it still is dry, as we're starting to see. That was the Haas of Dubs backing up there, and Steve was right behind. I don't know if he was actually on a flying lap, but if he is, then it might put him. He's well into the 2 minutes now as he comes across the line to set a 2.9919.
Yeah, Savaldi, next one, Savaldi too, so he's gonna have to get back off and go again next lap. He's validated it. Who's coming across the line? Craig on the lap.
Craig goes second with a 1:44.1.
Hicklin
goes faster.
43.7.
Hicklin.
He's pretty tidy.
Oh, I feel like I don't know. We'll need to get some information and data on terms of the weather conditions and if they're going to improve. It doesn't look like it's too heavy with rain, but it's enough to kind of cause a bit of issue for the drivers. Everybody is on intermediate conditions. I feel like that will be the fastest tyre at the present moment. However, I feel like with what I can see, it isn't dark fully in terms of the sky. Like, there is still like light patches on the far end on the exits of 1 and 2, so maybe that will come in and clear the track up and kind of see a dry line form as Scott goes fastest with a 1:43.6 in the Ferrari.
Yeah, so great to see. Yeah, so yeah, I got some weather information. We're gonna have a wet quali and a dry race. So I'm assuming most of these guys are gonna be running dry setups since it's gonna be a dry race. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting with their dry setups around this track. Maybe they haven't done the wet weather practice. They've maybe might have wanted on their dry setup, so it's gonna be something you're gonna have to get used to. So that might explain why we're seeing a lot of early spins and hitting the wall and stuff. Sure.
So Freeman, yourself in your introduction, you said you're a current reigning champion. You're a current Division 1 driver for Ferrari. Without giving too much away, like how would you go about setting up your race car for Suzuka? I don't feel like straight line speed would be too much a priority in the nature of the circuit being very twisty and free flowing and a very narrow circuit as well. I feel like your main overtaking points will be into the heavy braking zones. If you want to maybe cast some light or cast some shade on that and how you would go about setting up your race car.
Yeah, personally, I have, well, I wouldn't say too low downforce, but like low enough, but not like, I wouldn't say like a hungry type of setup, but I have a pretty low tire deck isn't really too bad around here, so tire pressures are usually quite high. Yeah, I pretty much built my car for just downforce. Pretty much, you really don't need straight line speed as you said around here, so it should be pretty good. But yeah, I've done some early lot of practice and the car feels really good. So yeah, I'm excited for tomorrow and it'll be interesting. Hope I can get another podium, even a win because I haven't won this season. So interesting. Sure.
Thank you. So Freeman kind of analysing the data there and how you would go setting up your car, he feels right in saying that I don't think, I mean I could probably agree in terms of the setup as well. I don't really feel any need to prioritise straight line speed. I feel like drivers will look to have more front end grip as well. As if we see Steve-O spinning on the curbs at Spoon and Steve-O's away again at Spoon curve there.
Steve-O's not having a great start to the session, couple spins already, hasn't set a lap even, so he's gonna wanna get on with it.
I feel like Steve-O is going to be, I feel like, maybe not just Steve-O, but I feel like maybe some drivers will go and just continue to put lap, like they'll fuel the car up for a few runs on these intermediates, because the intermediate tyres take a little while and a bit longer to degrade than the dry slick tyres. Steve-O comes out the pits as soon as I say that, so kind of completely blows that out the window. We've got Plain Teddy just pulling off to the side for the Alpha of Grand Prix. We've got anybody else we can see on a lap at the moment. Freeman, like Gareth Scott in the pits, Hickland's in the pit lane as well, Neelix on an out lap.
Doug Zennon
needs to
set start of the lap.
Doug Zennon's just started the lap as he comes through the S's.
Crush
the S's
spun right in front of him.
Oh, he's well into the gravel trap.
Yeah.
Thankfully didn't he get in the way of Dark Zennon and his lap there. But Dark Zennon finds himself in 12th at the moment. And one notable absentee you'll notice for the leaderboards there is the absence of Youngie. Youngie was the winner last time out in Sochi. He's no with us here in Suzuka. I mean, I don't personally know why. Maybe got another commitment. But he is missing out here in Suzuka as far as I'm aware. If he has got time, he'll probably join us in after the race, but I don't have the information on that. But Youngie is a notable absent, especially
for sure.
We saw him dominate last weekend in Russia, especially after Dark Zennon and Lewis OD. Lewis OD is actually serving a qualifying ban, as you'll see on the bottom of the screen there. He's disqualified and already out of the session. But another championship rival there, Lewis, is disqualified, so he had to start from the back. Youngie's absent, so Dark Zennon, if he can get himself to the front, I feel like he could put himself even further adrift from the chasing pack in terms of championship standings. So we'll need to see
Yeah, for sure.
how he qualifies, because Suzuka is a really hard circuit to overtake at. Very narrow, very twisty, as you're seeing all these onboards and broadcast images. But it's a bit I think what most drivers can really agree in with as well is we're going to watch Grand Prix coming across the line, and the Alfa Romeo is setting a 1:44.8
For 8.
13th. Keeps them safe, but we've still got to see times for Ned Kloss, Brightly, Stevo and Gaz.
Yeah, it's
they are
just
the
coming
bottom
across the
4.
line. Yeah, let's go the third quickest. 43.2.
Oh.
Not too bad. That's all. I just want to point out the top 2. Gareth is just ahead of Alexander by 1 millisecond, so this shows how close it's going to be, I think. Already seeing that. Pretty close to the midfield, too. Fourth down to just about 6 tenths, so not too bad at all. So it's gonna be a pretty good session, I think. Q1 and Q3, Q2 and Q3. Sorry.
I definitely have to agree with that, Freeman. I think the pace, I think the league in terms of its actual like racing and competitiveness and the nature of the league as well. This is a very close league. This is very closely fought. There's drivers no giving an inch to their surroundings and their competitors. Points are points, and everybody needs them. But I feel like this league is really close in terms of competitiveness, and you can just see it, as what Freeman was just saying there, like only a millisecond separating the top 2 in Q1, and the track does look, the rain does look to be a smidge lighter, but whether we're going to be in dry conditions come Q2 or Q3, that will remain to be seen. But it definitely doesn't look like it's clearing up in terms of the weather conditions from what we can see on board around the Suzuka circuit. It does seem to be quite cloudy and overcast at the moment, and still quite full of perspiration. But we're going to be into the nitty-gritty point of the first qualifying session. We have just over 3 minutes remaining in the session, and we've got Sprightly, Stevo and Lewis. Lewis has already confirmed as an eliminee from the first qualifying session, but Sprightly and Stevo are finding themselves in the drop zone as it stands, currently yet to set a time.
Sprightly!
Sprightly spot. No, that's Sprightly.
Yes,
Sprightly away. And I don't know if Sprightly was on a lap there, but
he was.
With the amount of time he's going to get run the Suzuka circuit, he's going to only have that lap and nothing else. He's going to make it round if he gets himself back up and facing the right way, but Sprightly's got...
He's spun again. Oh my goodness.
Sprightly is definitely he's definitely no taking control of the greasy track here, and he's right on the inside. He's going to have to wait until Jules is away passing the Toro Rosso, which he does now on the bottom of Dunlop curve away into the gravel trap as well. So Sprightly no having the qualifying session that he would be looking for, especially in the Ferrari. Ferrari will have very high expectations, and Freeman is rooting for Ferrari. He is a Ferrari driver for the first tier, so I think that will be a heart-sinking moment for Freeman as Sprightly was eliminated from the first qualifying session.
He just spun again, so it's not really great to see. But
Sprightly, I don't think he's got to grips with the conditions of the circuit, and I don't know if maybe I don't know if he's got his car set up maybe a bit differently for the other drivers. Hicklin's retired, so he feels confident with a 1:43.7. I think he'd be fine. I think like a 44, like a low 44 will be the cut-off.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think Hicklin will be fine in 8th place at the moment, so I wouldn't be too surprised to see the top drivers following suit in there as well. Sprightly is still going to get run for a lap because he is at Spoon. He just needs to navigate 130R on the Castle Chicane before he starts his flying lap, but he really needs
He's struggling.
He doesn't look confident in his own ability in these conditions. What I think Sprightly might need to do, if he's not done it already, is he'll have the ability to control his differential on that steering wheel. So maybe he'll kind of lock the rear steering, the rear
Yeah.
wheel throttle, so he can maybe try and get his sail a bit more purchase out of the slow bends, and it will try and like maybe help in terms of general traction and rear end grip. I think that's where he's missing out. I think he's maybe just getting a bit too throttle happy, especially we saw it in the S's, we saw it at Dunlop, we saw it at Digna 2. Well, you saw it at Digna 2, I didn't see it on here, but he does start his flying lap, so we'll ride on board with Sprightly. As he does 1 and 2 fairly clean there. At the bit of slide on turn 2, notes the free flowing S's. He does take a bit of caution though, does lift off the throttle, but he does 3 and 4 quite well. 5 keeps away for the curb. You want to keep away for the inside curb at turn 6 as well, but he does need. I mean, he does need look. It doesn't look too stable for him, and I don't know if you're seeing the same thing as me, but the back end is just constantly just sliding out underneath him, and that is definitely not what he's wanting there. And the checkered flag falls for the first session of 3 here at Suzuka, and Sprightly will sit on board with Sprightly. He's set a 2:49.8, and that is well off the pace. He needs to half that. No half that. That'd be incredible if he halved it on his final lap. But we've got the McLaren Stevo well and truly out the way there on the right hand side on the grass. But Sprightly will sit on board with Sprightly as he needs to improve on his lap. Stevo, on the other hand, is up in 10th at the moment. I didn't see that. I don't know if he done. Sprightly's away, and Sprightly's away again,
and he's done. Oh.
And I think that's his goose cooked. And Jules goes fastest with a 1:42.7, so while the track conditions might be improving, and Jules starts to find a bit of a rhythm there, Sprightly still couldn't find his grip and find his feet in that session, and he'll be starting alongside Lewis on the back row, which is devastating for the Ferrari driver and for the Ferrari team. There as well, and devastating for Freeman. I can just feel his heart sinking through the comment box, the commentary box's floor.
I think Plain Teddy's AI crashed, and Sprightly barely just missed it. Oh,
you're right there. Plain Teddy's down in 6th. No wait, Plain Teddy's 16th, and he's set a 1:44.6, which is technically a 1:44.699, so it's nearly a 44.7.
Yeah.
And he's out. He would have been out on qualifying anyway. With that pace, with that time. But I don't know. I didn't get any notice to say that he's car retired or if his AI just crashed. You'll probably have a better view at Freeman, but if we don't, also we'll not see him in the next session anyway because he is 16th. And he is in the drop zone for the first qualifying session. Sprightly is joining him alongside Lewis in terms of being the first of the 3 eliminees in the session. And we are going to use this wee moment to get ourselves prepared for Q2. I think the rain will still be here with us, Freeman. I don't think the rain will ease up any between this session and the small interval that the drivers get to qualifying 2. I think that will just be the same.
Yeah. Sure.
Your main leaderboards there, and you've got Plain Teddy, you've got Sprightly, who's 1 minute and 1 minute and 7 seconds off the fastest lap of the session, and you've got Lewis there, who's disqualified. He's carrying a qualifying ban over from the last race in Sochi, so he'll be starting at the back, and we will be advancing to Q2.
Yeah, we're just gonna be getting out of the way in a minute or so. So it'll be interesting to see if we're gonna get some intermediate tires or if it's gonna dry up. We'll have to see.
I feel like maybe with the way the weather was actually kind of playing out in that session, like, I mean, even just looking at it here, Freeman, from what we remember looking at at the start of Q1, I feel like the rain isn't as heavy. I feel like if it does lighten up in this session, I feel like we might see drivers throw a bit of caution to the wind and go for a slick tyre run near the end of the session. And that's quite crucial as well, because if they get this timing perfect, then we could see a few upsets in terms of qualifying result as well. Like, we'll normally have our usual suspects going through to Q3, but that could, I mean, a drying track in Q2 can really upset that dynamic if it was timed to perfection. So we'll need to see what happens in the session. Who have we got on
Absolutely.
the lap? It's the Haas or Neelix, and see even sitting on board Neelix as he's going through the
doesn't look too bad.
The rain. the rain looks like it's got lighter once again, but intermediate still seems to be the tyre of choice. But you got Jules, and you've got Ned Claw in the pit setting themselves up for a dry tyres. Jules has got the hards on his Toro Rosso, and you've got Ned Claw on medium tyres for that Renault. So maybe we will see a shift from intermediate tyres over to the slicks during this session. But the crucial question is going to be, it'll be when will you get the full benefit of a dry tyre on a drying track?
Yeah, I think the rain has stopped by the looks of it, so it should be drying out, I would say, relatively quickly.
And I think I'm looking on board Neelix. Neelix is the only driver out at the moment. I mean, we can see if we look on board the Haas, there is no rain falling. It's still dark, but there's no rain.
Yeah.
And it'll just be a matter of how quick. And Neelix is understeering wide with the intermediate zone, so maybe we might not even see Neelix put a time in here as he outbreaks himself.
He goes very deep
across the Casio chicane. I think he's just going to come
he's
in,
pitting.
and everybody's going to opt for dry tyres at this point. So dry tyres look like the way to go from here.
Yeah, for sure. It's just going to be a matter of when, I think. It'll be interesting to see what tires guys go on.
And
because you want to go out. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, as soon as you were saying earlier, you were telling us it was a wet qualifying and a dry race. We're starting to see a drying qualifying session. We see a Toro Rosso driving out the pits. We'll see who that is. That's
Jules.
Going to be the first person to test dry tyres here. So we'll have to see how he navigates the circuit on hard tyres, and if he can get the tyres up to temperature. In these conditions, obviously the track's going to be pretty cold given the conditions that it's just been raining. It's still cloudy, bit breezy, so the grip's not going to be all there until he's getting them into an optimal temperature window. But as I can't even we'll sit on board with him as it goes through the S's and all his outlet. We're starting to see a few drivers starting to follow the Toro Rosso driver out of the pit lane onto the track. So what is the main tyre strategy that we should be looking out for? Is it the soft to medium run? Is it a hard run? Soft to medium?
Soft medium. Yeah, pretty easily around here. Tyre dake, as I said earlier, isn't too bad, so it should be pretty easy one stopper. If there's an early safety car, you might see some guys getting on hards. I'm not confident, because hards are not really the best around here, so I wouldn't expect to see guys on hards, but they might just want to play it safe. Don't think the mediums go the full race distance. Maybe lap 5 or 5 and up you could pit, but yeah, it's gonna be very tight, I think, for those tires, so it'll be interesting to see what tire strategy they go for during the race. Especially if there's like a safety car or something like that, but
I feel like in my personal opinion, oops, wait there, I've not got the full information up on the screen. There's your timing board on the top right for the driver, and there's the telemetry on the bottom right. I didn't have that on the main broadcast feed there, so that's that on for the viewers to enjoy and get that extra bit of detail and information from the drivers in terms of their timing. As well as the throttle inputs, gear shifts, ERS management, etc, etc. But I feel, in my opinion, the circuit itself is quite light, as you were saying. I'm just going to say, as you were saying earlier, like that's just kind of how it's like. That's kind of how I feel. We see Jules getting a bit too much purchase on Degna 1, takes Degna 2 in a very unique way. But the stewards didn't think it was worth granting them the time for that, so they haven't validated the lap. It did look like he went round Degna 2 a lot quicker than you would have went round it normally, but the stewards weren't really having that, and his lap is invalidated. But we'll look round the board and see where everybody is. Zach's on the... It says he's on the intermediates, but he's on the mediums.
Yeah, mediums.
Scott's coming out on the softs, Neelix is out on the mediums. Got a bit of a
Yep.
mix here from what I can see. Most of them are kind of on mediums, Joe's still on the hards, and Scott's on the softs. But I feel like in the possibility of an early safety car, I feel like if I was to drive, I feel like I would maybe try the hard tyre to the end. Hard tyres, they probably have a bit of like a significantly slower delta time than the mediums and especially the soft tyres. But I feel like Suzuka, in terms of its structure, is very much like tracks like Singapore, like Monaco, like the Hungaroring, where the track's really narrow and there is very limited overtaking opportunity. And I feel like track position is something that you can really revel in, because you're not going to see anybody getting a strong run out of spoon like 100% of the time. There will be times where one driver might slip up and spoon, and that allows the driver behind to reel the driver in on the run into 130R. But moves into that flat out left hander are very rare. I remember seeing Fernando Alonso doing it to Michael Schumacher way back in the day, and also there's a few drivers in between then and now, but I mean they're escaping me at the minute. But as we see a Haas, and that's Neelix. Is it Neelix?
Yes.
Gaz is went wide. On the Mercedes is when Ruin, that's Hicklin, is slow Dunlop, and the McLaren and Steve-O's, and it seems to be Dunlop that's catching everybody out as we see his teammate Gareth just flying by. But Dunlop really seems to be where the main core issue.
Oh, Steve-O!
Oh, Steve-O's been disqualified!
No!
Steve-O!
Oh.
Sake! Steve-O, what's happening there?
I think he was just trying to spin the car around and.
And there's yellow flags out at the hairpin. What's happened there?
Gaz
is slow. Neelix is slow.
His teammate.
Both Hasses on the grass. Craig goes fastest. Purple 1:34.6. Times are starting to come in. Only 4 times are in, and we're just over the halfway point in this session.
Yeah, they're gonna wanna try to set some laps pretty soon. Maybe they're just gonna wait until the track is the best that they can have one shot and go for it, or they're gonna try to do 2 runs and have the best at the end.
And Steve-O's just says in the chat, damn it, disqualified for waiting the wrong way to let people pass. Like, that's the thing as well. I think that was incredibly harsh. Like, Steve-O wasn't even on the track.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're if you're the stewards, how do you see that? Scott goes fastest on the soft tyres, 1:32.1, 2.5 seconds faster. The track is continuing to dry. It is continuing to rubber in, and the speed is continuing to flood in. And Scott and Grand Prix are setting quick times on these soft tyres, and we've only got 6 of the 14 drivers to have a time on the board, so that makes the final 5 minutes really interesting.
I think a couple guys are coming up now, by the looks of it.
Apologies just to completely divert away from the conversation there, viewers, but I mean, in the sense of in Steve-O's incident, he's on the grass on the exit of Dunlop, which is at first it's you don't date flat, but you've got a bit of throttle on, and then you immediately go flat once you're by the tighter bit, and then it relaxes, and it continues to be a left curve, but it's a steady left curve, and it is very prone for drivers just to have a bit of oversteer, and the car bites, and it drifts out onto the external gravel trap on the corner. I mean, if you're wanting to try and beat the stewards and play devil's advocate, they would probably say that his McLaren was in a dangerous place, but he wasn't on the main racing line, and I don't get that. I feel like if you're to try and play devil's advocate there, I think he might have got the penalty, or disqualification rather, purely down to the fact that there could have been another accident there.
Yeah.
It could have been worse. but I feel that's incredibly harsh on the McLaren driver in that session. I mean, Steve-O says in the chat he was waiting to let people by, so morally he was doing the right thing. But in the steward's eyes, they might have seen him as a risk. I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to just play devil's advocate and try and see it for the side of the stewards, but well, I mean, the in-game stewards anyway. But I mean, I think Steve-O's disqualification is pretty harsh.
Yeah.
And
I think I'm actually gonna get him in.
Pretty hard done.
I think he wants to come chat with us.
Oh, Steve-O.
You there,
We're
Steve-O?
being joined by Steve-O.
Hello.
Steve-O.
Bit guide, really. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, bit guide. That's ridiculous, isn't it?
Aye, so
I span and faced it the wrong way. I thought, oh, I better let everyone come past before I turn around. Before I know it, it was disqualifying me and turning it round by the AI. So, yeah, it's just a weird thing of the game, really, isn't it? I wasn't moving to start with. I was letting everyone past, but it's just one of them things, isn't it? I suppose.
I mean, we were literally, before you came out of the party, we were literally just like sitting analysing the incident, and I mean, like I was kind of saying, I mean, like it is Dunlop, it's a really difficult turn, anyways, it is, because, and I mean, especially with the drying conditions, like it's a really easy corner to get wrong.
Yeah.
So maybe the stewards were like, all right, we don't, like, he's no moving, he's no attempting to get out of the way, they'll just disqualify you for that. But at the same time, we thought that was more reasonable and more moral for you to just to wait there than come back on and potentially risk somebody's flying lap.
Well, yeah, I
And I feel that's quite harsh.
Yeah, no, yeah, I think it's harsh, but it's just part of the game, isn't it? Really, the problem is, what would happen if I had spun it round in the track because I knew I would get disqualified, and then, like, in the path of another driver. It's just one of them things that, as a co-masters just maybe have to look at, maybe not disqualify so quick, I suppose. But yeah, it's just one of them tricky things. It's one of them hard things we have to put up with, I suppose. But
And
yeah, just a bit gutted, really.
Oh, just to cut across
No,
you there,
no.
Steve-O, but Ned Claw just done the exact same thing as yourself at Dunlop, and he ran wide. He was still facing and like in the right way while you were facing backwards on the exit of Dunlop. But we just seen the Red Bull. I couldn't catch what one it was there, but they go right up close to Ned Claw on the exit of Dunlop, and it looked like they were about to join them in the gravel trap. So it really has proven to be a tricky corner for the drivers so far.
It is, and the conditions they are not great. It's still a cold track. It's dry. It did feel dry. I went out on the softs. I thought I'm not going to risk the mediums. So I'll go out on the softs, and it is dry. You got a lot of grip, but it's cold. So the back end is just all over the shop. But yeah, it's just one of them. But yeah, it's just, I think it'll get better. It'll get quicker as it goes on. Gareth's put in a good lap, I see. So still be rooting for him for a pole position, but got some fast guys out there, so we shall see.
Definitely, it's all but given at the moment. But I mean, as you were saying there, like it is like a really cold track. It is still really damp. As we don't have any telemetry or information in terms of the weather and qualifying. Freeman did let us know that it was going to be a wet qualifying, but we didn't expect it to dry up as quick. I'm assuming it's just to continue staying dry, and then it's a dry race.
Yeah, all dry. Yeah.
And I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but see your disqualification. Does that disqualify you from this session, meaning you start 15th, or are you at the back?
No, I think it's just 15th, isn't it? I don't know actually, but I'm hoping it'll just be 15th. But yeah, you're right. Actually, I don't know, to be honest. That's a Oh, don't! You got me worried now. That's a good question, actually.
I feel like it would. I mean, it was hard enough to get a disqualification for. I mean, like your accident being off at Dunlop and being moral about waiting for everybody to go by at the time and then just get disqualified for it. I'd feel like it'd be maybe kind of putting a final nail in the coffin if they were to put you at the start at the right back of the grid alongside Lewis and the Renault. But I mean,
yeah.
15th,
Yeah, it would feel.
a track like Suzuka is definitely going to have your work cut out when it comes to race day.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to hope for some safety cars, really, to try and work out, try and I'll get with my engineers and do the strategy, try and get the best strategy we can, I think. I'll have to
No
give
worries.
Ranger and Beast a question because they've already done the track and see what they got to say about it, I think, maybe.
Aye, that's exactly it. It's just a matter of kind of filling your confidence, getting some references in, and as the track dries up and the temperature really kind of rises once again, tyres will be at an optimum window, and hopefully there'll be no further issues similar to qualifying and then race.
Yeah, hopefully, but yeah, a little bit green. It's going to be a bit less practice for me, so yeah, a little bit behind, put me a bit behind really. But it is what it is. We take it on the chin and we move
Aye.
forward and hope for some good points for McLaren. Really, that's all I'm looking for.
That's exactly it. Are you a personal, is Suzuka a fan favourite of yours, or is it one of the tracks you just kind of want over and done with? Aussie away.
Sorry, I missed.
Is he
sorry,
still
I missed
there?
that. Sorry, I missed
Oh
that.
no, I
It
was
broke
saying.
up.
No, I was.
Oh,
I was asking you, is Suzuka one of the tracks that you absolutely love to drive, or is it just one that you want to like
no,
just get over
hate
and
it.
done with?
Hate it. I'm a
That's
pad
the-
user, not a wheel user, and it's one of the it's hard to get right. If you get it right, it feels great, but it's such a hard track. It's narrow, and the change of direction through the S's is so hard. It's so hard to get right every lap, and I think that's going to be my biggest worry. Really, is I know I'm going to be at least 15th, so I think I'll just sit at the back and hopefully just pick up some places as safety cars possibly, or people maybe make errors or things like that really, or squabble and just try and work my way through. I think that's all I can do.
That's exactly it. I mean, I feel like with the nature of turn 1 and 2, keep it clean and keep it away from any trouble, and you could probably pick up a few places and take a few pieces off other drivers. But when it comes to Q3, we'll let you go back and confer with your team and root on for your teammate to get pole position. He was the fastest in Q2. Hopefully, he can carry that through to
Yeah,
Q3 for
I'll be supporting
team
him.
morale.
Yeah,
But
thank you
no
very
worries,
much.
Steve-O.
Yeah,
Good luck for the race, Steve-O. Unlucky about the
Yeah, good luck.
disqualification.
thank you very much. Yeah, take care, boys.
Take care.
Right, you too, mate. Bye. Cheers. Right, so we had Steve-O in. I mean, that's just hard luck for the game there to disqualify him. But I mean, I don't know how the disqualification actually works. I feel like 15th will be his starting position. I mean, I don't
Yeah.
really know how it works. I don't know if you've got any information on that, Freeman, on how that particular penalty system works.
Yeah, so he'll be 15th, but I believe Gas had a 5-place grid penalty for collision with his teammate, so he's going to be dropping down 19th, I believe, with that, and Stevo's going to be up to 14th. But, yeah, as you said, in Q2, if you get disqualified, you'll be right down the bottom, same for Q1. I believe Q3 is the same thing, but I'm not retiring. That's a different system. 3 sessions, so yeah, it's just fortunate for him. We're rooting for him, but yeah, just
I like because
fortunate.
Steve-O and Steve-O as well's got a bit of I wouldn't say a cult following, but he's got like a big fan base in the SLR
Yeah.
community as well. So he has got a lot of fan momentum, if you want to call it that. Like even with us as commentators, like when we seen Steve-O's disqualification, we kind of like, oh no, what's happened there? Like something's went wrong. Like and like we were kind of like I mean, obviously we kind of root for all drivers to race well and and drive fairly, cleanly, quickly, competitively. Just throwing adjectives out there, but it was, as what Steve was saying, it was just one he has to take on the chin and look forward to in terms of the race. I mean, it does make his work a lot harder because he is going to be 15th at best. But I mean, Suzuka 1 and 2 is very tight and it is very easy to get it wrong, especially when the drivers constantine it up on the first laps anyway into the braking zones. So maybe he can pick up a few places here and there.
I hope so. Hopefully he'll have a pretty good race. Come back to the field and see him do superb.
But oh well, sorry, I'll ride on board with Zen, and he'll be the first person to put in a time in Q3 if we can keep it clean. But we're starting to see the sun breaking through the clouds now, casting a bit of light on the circuit, and hopefully with that, inject a bit of heat into the tarmac and get the tyres into optimum temperatures, because as what Steve was saying, it is a very cold track, and that's what we were saying in qualifying one when we were on board with Sprightly. The rear end grip's just no there, and that would mean the drivers would have to play a bit with their dials in terms of their differential with the rear wheels and lock it so that they can actually get more traction, more purchase, but more rear end grip into their car. But now the track's drying up, it is fully dry, and the sun's breaking through. Hopefully the temperature rises. Dark Zenon does set the fastest time and the only time in Q3 with 1:29.2, setting the benchmark for the rest of the drivers in the session. Williams pole position at the moment, car number 15, Neelix at 29.9, 7/10 off the pace. Zach is Beast 1.2 off the pace of the leader there, 1:34. Paul 1:30.8, so the times are starting to become slower. Scott up to second in the Ferrari though. He's the sole Ferrari in the session, and he's carrying the prancing horse to P2 at the moment, as we see Darren Paul, and Scott's away into the gravel, and does he keep the car in? He doesn't keep on one piece of some front wing in the wall at turn 4, and he's facing the, you don't lie with
gotta make sure he doesn't get disqualified.
He's going to face, I think he might face, he just gets away with it though. I mean, a similar thing happened to Steve-O in Q2, and he got disqualified. But Scott was very close to doing the same there at a different part of the track. Steve-O done it just here at Dunlop, but Scott done it at turn 4. I mean, I don't know. I think that'd be quite close. But I mean, I think both of them were perfectly legitimate. Like, Scott had nobody near him. Steve-O was waiting until the traffic was clear. So I feel like it'd be quite harsh to say. It'd be quite harsh and quite cynical to say it's one rule for one rule for the rest kind of dynamic here at the moment, but I just think that's just a glitch in the game's part. But yeah, speaking of Steve, we'll sit on board with his teammate Gareth, 7th at the moment, yet to set a time, was fastest in Q2. Do you think he can catch? Do you think he can carry that momentum through to to Q3?
I think he could. He's had some pretty good pace in Q1 and Q2, so it'll be interesting to see what his first lap is like, and if he can get anywhere near Dark Zen's time of 1:29.2.
I feel like Gareth's kind of carried a good bit of momentum with him through these two qualifying sessions and into the final one. But that's another thing as well. Suzuka is very momentum based there as well. But we forgot to say in the chat, be sure to fire your qualifying predictions. Just give us your top 3. Who you think is going to qualify first, second or third. You've got 6 minutes left to decide before the checkered flag falls on the final qualifying session here at Suzuka for SLR's 3rd division race. Dark Zenon, Scott and Gareth are your top 3 at the moment, and that's the kind of thing as well, Freeman. Like, we obviously we know Formula 1's a very momentum based sport, as is all sport really, but how important is momentum at Suzuka in relation to
it's
the circuit?
Very important. Gonna want some pretty good exits, otherwise it's just gonna kill you up. Actually, but momentum is pretty important around here, in my opinion. A lot of tricky corners, a lot of flowy ones, but momentum is key for sure.
I feel like if you're the driver on a qualifying lap, I feel like if you get the S section in the first sector done, and if you get the first sector perfect, that kind of like raises the expectation and actually like improves the performance of the overall lap. I feel like the first sector is where qualifying is going to be won and lost, purely because it's a sector you can either get perfect or you can hammer it horribly wrong. And I think Japan's first sector is one of the most heavily momentum-based sectors in any Formula 1 track, because it's so easy to gain and lose the time there, and it's very crucial to get that right. Um, but I'm just looking through the grid at the moment to see who's where. We'll sit on board with Nedclaw. Nedclaw's yet to put in a lap. He's the only. Everybody is coming into the pit. Scott Laney. Scott Laney's starting a lap actually, so we'll sit on board with Scott Laney while Nedclaw's navigating his out lap. Scott Laney's just done 1 and 2 there, done it quite tidy. 3 and 4 doesn't get affected by the bump on the inside of 3. Has a wee bit of a fishtail there on turn 4 into 5. Tidy through 6. Does put the tires on the curb. Run Dunlop, the rise in turn 7. Back end steps out a wee bit there, but Disney send them off into the gravel trap, and he's going through the first digger of 2. First one seems to be very clean. Second one, the braking seems to be inch perfect there as he takes a wee bit of curb on the inside, up into the hairpin. He'll straighten the car up and immediately slam on the brake to into first to help that extra turn in, immediately shifting up the second for the additional traction, but does veer off onto the left there on exit, so a wee bit of a heavy right foot on the throttle there has upset the exit there off the hairpin into sprint curve. 5th gear, you want to let the car roll to as far as you can onto the outside of spoon before turning in on the exit onto this straight, because that really sets you up. There's a Haas here and Neelix staying onto the left hand side there, but Scott Laney no opting to take the slipstream of the Haas as he goes through 150 AR, straightens up the car, brakes for the Casio chicane, takes a bit of curb on the right, doesn't touch the one on the left all that much, and there's a wee bump on the final turn there, which you see there, the car just jerks over it as he comes up to the line, improves by 11 seconds, a 130.5, puts him 7th fastest, and we are just over 2 minutes remaining in this qualifying session, so drivers will be prepared for the final runs here. Nedclaw is on a lap here, and he's yet to put a time on the board, so we'll need to see what happens with the Renault. His teammate, of course, carrying a qualifying ban over from Sochi, so Nedclaw's really got the Enstone team on his shoulders here as he aims to try and get a solid qualifying position for the team. But
yeah, absolutely. The other one, good performance.
And there's a Renault crush off at Dunlop.
Crush.
And it's Crush and the Red Bull. Nobody fortunately coming up round the rising curve of Dunlop. The next driver to do so will be Scott on an outlap, but Crush really dirty in the slick tyres. And Dunlop really proving to be, it really is solidifying itself as Japan's tricky turn. I don't think drivers have really got to proper grips with it, and there's a Mercedes of Craig,
Craig
on the flying lap as well, and the S's as well. You've got the yellow flags out for Paul in the first 2 turns there. You've got the Red Bull Zach on a flying lap there as well. He's starting his flying run. Neelix is on his flying run and he's got a chance to go again, but I don't know how much ERS he'll have. Keeps a tight line on the rundown, stays third, improves by 800ths of a second into a 29.8, but improves slightly and takes P3 off of Gareth once again. Gareth's on a flying lap as well. Freeman, is there anybody on a lap that's coming to the line to see where they're going to filter in on this leaderboard as it's continually developing here in the final minutes in qualifying? We've got the Red Bull a Crush.
Yep, she's just starting our lap and Scott's
start a lap
right behind him, starting a lap 2. Doug Zelen, he's 3 tenths up. Still middle sector.
And half a second improvement.
Wow.
128.7. And there's a 9/10ths of a second gap between first and Dark Zenon and the Williams, and you've got Scott and the Ferrari in P2 at the moment, 129.6. And the checkered flag falls in 2-1-0. Checkered flag is out and the session is over. Drivers crossing the line for the final time will be the final run. Paul crosses the line into the pit lane. Zach's into the pits as well. Who's next to cross the line? That will be Nedclaw. He's up by a 10th. Does he take a tighter line? Goes 5th fastest. The McLaren Gareth 4th at the moment. Goes 2nd fastest. 129.3. We've got the Haas and Neelix coming into the pits, so he's not going to improve. Scott improving by 2 thousandths of a second. He sits third at the moment. He was second just moments ago, but Gareth takes P2 off of the Ferrari driver. But Scott is on a lap, so he's got time to improve. We've got Orange Crush coming through 130
Yep, 8 tenths
upright,
up.
just short of 9 tenths of a second. Where would that make him? Where would that feed him in? Maybe into P7 alongside his teammate P8. Maybe a Red Bull 4th row as it stands. He's took a Castle chicane quite cleanly there. Up to the line, 130.2, puts him 8th fastest. So Red Bull share the 4th row at the moment. Scott crosses the line, stays third fastest. 800ths of a second down, and you've got Craig on a lap. He'll be the last to cross the line. He's ran out of ERS, so he's not going to get any punch of speed on the exit of the Castle chicane down to the checkered flag here, but he keeps a tighter line to try and minimise the time. Stays 6th fastest despite an improvement, and I think that's everybody.
Yep, that is everyone.
Dark Zenon is your pole position, man.
Yeah, great lap by him. Over, I believe, 6 tenths. There, second place, Gareth. So very impressive for sure.
And that's a very exciting session, purely because it's highlighted the speed of some drivers. Also, we had the wet weather at the start of the qualifying to mix up the grid order marginally, and it kind of gave us a bit of action in terms of drivers trying to familiarise themselves with the wet conditions. But Dark Zen, at the end of the day, came out fastest with a pole position time of 28.7, sharing the front row with Gareth in the McLaren. So it's a Williams, McLaren, Ferrari top 3, Hassan 4th with Neelix, Nedclaw 5th for Renault, Craig in the Mercedes, Zach is Beast and Orange Crush sharing the 4th row for Red Bull, and Paul and Scott Laney in the Racing Point and Toro Rosso rounding out the top 10. This is the 5-minute interval, so this is your time to go and stretch your legs, get yourself a nice wee drink of tea, juice, whatever, something to eat, toilet break, etc, etc. Drivers will be preparing themselves for the race as we see blue skies and a bit of white cloud in the sky as well, so it looks pretty sunny to us from what we can see. Drivers are going to use this 5-minute interval just to get themselves familiarised with their setups, small minor tweaks, just a general break for them.
It's already up.
It's
It's already up. Oh.
Oh well, the 5 minutes just flew in.
Yeah, I think we're gonna be having a restart.
Oh dear. Who was it? Well,
Grand Prix.
I think it must have been Grand Prix, because I think I just seen Jules readying up just there, but that's really going to upset the dynamic.
Yeah, I think we're gonna be having a restart. Yep. Gareth Swift. It's just chaos at the back. Oh my god.
Oh, what a thrill.
Chaos.
Oh. Don't worry everybody, we will be using this time as a break. But so starting to see some drivers leaving the session. Some drivers are just kind of causing a bit of melee at the first turn. Hopefully we're not going to carry that over to the actual race itself. Gaz leaves the session, Orange pushes, Red Bulls go a broken front left there, so that car will be making a start regardless of what happens. We've got Zach with Craig and the wee train there kind of forming up under the tunnel. We're starting to see some drivers leaving the session here as well. Ferrari of Sprightly is peeled off the yes section. We've got drivers all over the place. Zen and Gareth are the two leading the field, and then you've got Nedclaw in third in formation lap but 5th on the grid, and then you've got Scott and Neelix just kind of drifting behind 3rd and 4th. So it's all just kind of
just get held up for a few minutes. I'll be back.
No worries, I'll be here. I'll keep the spectators entertained. Entertained. But I'm going to look through the chat and just kind of see what's being said as as we're starting to see a new session being set up. We'll be getting invited to that momentarily. And there we go, we've just been disconnected there, so we have a new lobby in the works. We will be joining that quite soon. No really too much happening in the chat. So be sure just to, I mean, if you're wanting us to talk about anything during this 5-minute interval, I mean, it's just myself at the moment, but we've got Freeman in the booth with us as well, but he's just away for a few moments. So if you've got predictions for the race 1, predictions for the podium, predictions for fastest lap, just any other general predictions or general talking points, be sure to message it in the chat and we'll cover it during this interval in the stream. I feel like quite a lot's going to happen at Suzuka purely because it's a very very twisty, narrow circuit. So overtaking is going to be really hard to overtake and to manoeuvre in the circuit. I feel like the main overtaking points will be turn 1 and 2. I think that's going to be our main overtaking opportunity for the drivers, but you need a really good exit off of the Castle chicane down through the pit straight. And the DRS is at that run down to turn 1 as well, so that's where the main overtaking is going to be. You've maybe got your risk takers maybe looking for a move into the hairpin, or maybe even 130R if in the braking zone into the Castle chicane if you've got drivers in here with balls of steel. But I feel like Japan is definitely a circuit that has overtaking opportunity, but they're quite subtle and they kind of require bravery to actually conduct it. So it's just a matter of how brave these drivers are willing to get to try and make up some places. I feel like pit strategies are going to really kind of come into effect purely because of the twisty, tight, narrow nature of the circuit as well. Because it makes the tighter the circuit, the harder the overtaking's going to be. So I feel like pit strategy is really going to come into effect where they pit a lap early, pit a lap later, run rich and clear air for 2 laps, and then pit, and then try not to get caught up in other pit lane action as well. So I think it might come down to pit strategy. I'm gonna ask Freeman when the pit window normally opens because I'm quite unsure. I feel like it's lap 10 or 11 if you're on the softs, and then it's lap 17 for the mediums to the softs. He did say it was soft to mediums easy, and I feel like lap 10 will probably be the main kind of reference point for the drivers in the teams in terms of pit stops. Suzuka itself, I really enjoy Suzuka. I enjoy watching it. As what Steve was saying in the interview. I don't think it's a track really suited to pad users. I'm a pad user myself, and I mean, I love hooking up a lap in Suzuka, but when I actually properly hook up a lap, it's very rare. Sorry, just kind of got a bit sidetracked there. I feel like Suzuka itself, I mean, I really like Suzuka. Hook up a lap, it's brilliant. If you don't, then you actually hate the circuit. Steve-O has absolutely 0% love for the circuit. He says he just wants to have this race over and done with, and I don't blame him because on the pad it's a lot different to the wheel, and it kind of reignites that wheel pad debate as well. So, but I mean, Suzuka, and I mean in real life, I absolutely love watching Suzuka. It's the drivers in real life absolutely love the circuit. I think the circuit is quite underrated. I feel like it is hated on quite easily. I feel like I feel like drivers are quite. I mean, there is drivers that have legitimate, genuine reasons of hate, but I feel like it doesn't deserve as much hate as it does. Mainly, I'm kind of rooting that in the real life kind of argument now, but like, because it's just a track that can deliver really good racing. Like, I'm trying to think. Like, I mean, it's been on the calendar since 1987 anyway, as well. So it has a long history. It's got it's very sustainable, and it's very popular in the Japanese culture to have a Formula One race at Suzuka. I mean, obviously they've had teams like Honda and Toyota in the sport as well, so they have like a nice soft spot for the nature of Formula One to come into Japan and host a race here, and is continuing to do so over that time. But like championship deciders, we were sitting talking about that earlier, 88, 89, 90, 91, they were all championship deciders. You had 1996 when Damon Hill won it. You had Schumacher and Hakkinen in 98 when Hakkinen won it, then Hakkinen won it again in 99, beating Eddie Irvine, then Schumacher won in Japan 2000, and then that was the start of the dominant stretch in the early 2000s. You've got Kimi Räikkönen starting for Steven Team for the first in 2005. You've got Alonso's move around the outside of Schumacher in 2005 as well. You've got Sebastian Vettel won the title there in 2011. And you've got and you've had there's been good races there as well. Like Schumacher won he won in Japan in 2003 as well. He didn't win in Japan. He had to finish 8th. He finished 8th just. He won the championship in 2003 when Kimi Räikkönen was challenging him all the way to the end, and he won it in Japan. So Japan has got a lot of history in Formula Ones. Like, ideal, but somehow that's just not enough to kind of spare its blushes and kind of protect itself from the hate that it can get for some folk. But I mean, I personally was so supposed for Suzuka. I can't drive it to save myself, but I really enjoy watching qualifying. Like, I enjoyed the qualifying session run it, and I'm going to enjoy the race run it. Like, I really enjoy watching the circuit, and I enjoy driving it myself. But I mean, I can sympathise with drivers that get frustrated at it, because it's a really frustrating circuit to get right. But I can see that my ramblings aren't really sitting too well with some folk, because the viewerships went from 24 down to 18, so 6 folk on the a big fan of the rambling, and Freeman decides to join me. Freeman, I'm going to ask you what the pit strategy. I kind of said it was soft to medium, medium to soft, easily, but when do we expect the pit window to be open?
I'll say around lap 9 maybe, if guys are going to try undercut, but I'll say most 10 laps and maybe 11. They could stretch out the tires, but yeah, I would say the undercut is pretty powerful around here, especially with the fresh set, so I think we'll see a lot of that going on, sure.
I was saying to the viewers to get their predictions in for the podium and the fastest lap. So, do you have any predictions in mind? Who do you think's going to win?
I think I'm gonna go with Dark Zen. Then shows a really good pace. Obviously, saw him dominating Q3, so I wouldn't be surprised if you see him take the win. I could see maybe Gareth getting up there, maybe Neox. This alternate strategy, it could be very quick at the end, so yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Sure, hope we have a good battle. Lead.
I mean, I feel like, I mean, yeah, like we Dark Zenon did exceptionally well in qualifying. He showed blistering pace, and he qualified like 5/10 of a second quicker than the next fastest, which was Gareth. So he does share the front row with the McLaren driver. But I feel like the pace throughout the sessions between Dark Zenon, Gareth, Scott, and Neelix, it does seem a bit like spaced out and sporadic, but I feel like when it comes to race trim, it's going to be a lot closer. So I feel like we could properly see a 4-way battle at the front between those 4 drivers, 4 different teams, 4 different constructors fighting at the front would be quite healthy
Yeah.
for the division and quite healthy for the sport as well. So hopefully we could maybe see that. I mean, this is us kind of trying to toot our own horns a wee bit, but Crispy says Zenon to win, Gareth to finish third. Oh, I feel like that is perfectly legitimate. I feel like that's quite a very solid choice for podium. I might sub. I'm going to be brave, and I'm going to sub Zen in it for Scott, but I'm going to say Gareth will win. I think Gareth might actually win this if he can just keep the car on the island. I'm going to be brave. I like to kind of support my compatriots and my Scottish associates, but I feel like Gareth has got a lot of pace in that McLaren to drag it to a race win. And I say drag it to a race win, but I feel like Gareth has like obviously Dark Zen, I think he's got that car set up very exceptionally well, like very exceptional. It's like a very high standard of driving style that he's got, and I think he's got the setup nailed because we've looked at him and he's had very little issue in terms of grip or understeer, oversteer, traction. Like I think he's pretty much got all the minute issues that other drivers would experience and kind of locked down. But I feel like Gareth could drag what he's got in his McLaren to a win. I think he's got the potential to do that. If he can maybe beat, I think he needs to beat Zenon off the line though. And Dark Zenon's going to have the racing line. His pole slot is on the racing line, so he's going to have that grip. Whereas Gareth and Neelix, who are second and fourth, are going to be on the dirtier side of the track. So maybe their starts are going to be hindered by the excessive rubber on the inside of the circuit, whereas drivers on the left like Dark Zen and Scott can benefit from a cleaner grid slot and a much smoother purchase on their race start.
Yeah, for sure. We are just we're ready to go. Everyone, ready up.
Oh, and we've readied up, and we'll be on the formation lap in a few moments' time. Ha 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 hi. Ha 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 hi. Oh yeah. But we're gonna load up into the race.
Yep.
Oh, my Twitch on the phone just decided to turn off, so I'm going to load it up just so I can see the chat and just see people engaging with us, and it keeps us up to date with what's happening. In 18 viewers. Can I see who's all watching?
Yeah, you want me? I could check out.
Oh, you're watching, Freeman. You're not doing your job. You're just sitting watching. Says you're watching.
Oh, I have it up just to make
I'm
sure
watching
everything's
too.
okay. And check out the chat.
No. 18 viewers, and I want to thank everybody that's chose to stay with us. Sideshow Bob loves the game. I mean, I love the game too, but I don't know if I love Sideshow Bob. He's quite a nasty character. On The Simpsons, anyway. Freeman. All right, no, that's fine. Oh my God, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I literally felt my heart just plummet out my back end there because my screen just went to dark. And then like when you leave, see when you leave it.
Oh my
And-
god, is someone ready up early?
Oh, it's the same guy.
Oh my god. I can't.
Get him to help. Why does my heart go on beating? I don't know
I
why.
can't.
Oh my god! You can just like see if you look at the bottom right, you can just see like all the Formula One cars just bouncing, as if they're on like a I don't really
I think we're gonna be having a restart again.
Right, messages. Get a wee game or something on the go because me and Freeman are. Me and Freeman are like growing frustratingly tired.
Restart.
Starts and that, but I mean that's just everybody. That's spectators, like just like, and that's just drivers too. And I mean, if you're not going to have folk respecting the rules, and you're going to have to bring the rule book down on them, you've got and just this mistake again is meaning that we're going to have to go through that same process. And I mean, I would have thought he'd have been told. As you see him at the back of the grid now, he's readied up, and that's what the penalty is. If you ready up within the 5-minute period, is he's still at the back of the grid. So, and that promotes Steve to 14th. So I think the penalty, the disqualification, really just meant he starts 15th, and I think Grand Prix went out in Q2, so means everybody underneath him go up a place. So I think when it comes to disqualified in a session, it's just for that session. It's no for the full qualifying. So like if I get disqualified in Q3, it would put me 10th and no 18th.
Yeah.
Everybody in the chat starting to kind of express their frustration a wee bit. Sideshow Bob says, "No, me, I'm nice," and I'm like, "Your name is Sideshow Bob. He is literally one of the most evil characters on The Simpsons. So you can't say anything to me about being nice." Owen Howell says same about loving the game. Freeman says me too, except the multiplayer. I mean, the multiplayer itself does need a bit of work.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping they kind of iron out the issues come to F1 2020 when it comes out in July. You've got Crispy saying, you've got Owen Howell saying, "Gah, Steve and Scott top 3. Who's Gaz? Is that Gaz?
Who are we talking about?
In the chat, Owen Howell says, "Gah, Steve and Scott top 3. Who's Gah? We'll come back to it. Crispy says, "This is painful. Oh, tell me about it."
Yeah,
Steven
I
says, "Oh." And Dark Zenon says, "FFF, SSSSS." And I think that kind of sums up how they're feeling about the current scenario that we're facing at the moment. I'm gonna use this as a 2-minute interval as well, so you might hear a bit of silence unless Freeman's gonna keep you entertained.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a break.
My jaw feels like it's about to like just fall off my face. Hi. I can't believe it's no butter.
Right.
Owen Hill says surely he was told. I mean, I would like to think
Yeah,
he was
believe
told
he
as
was.
well. But I mean, I think it's what is it? What's the saying? Once is a mistake, twice is a choice. I think that's kind of what was in effect. I mean, I don't want to like shame Grand Prix for readying up twice, but I mean that's kind of how the saying goes, and I'm no like a firm believer in it, but that's kind of what will probably get through the minds of most of the drivers trying to get themselves prepared for the race. When it comes to spectators trying to kind of get themselves comfy and aligned to spectating alongside myself and Freeman in the commentary booth, but I mean it kind of does hold true sometimes when it's like once is a mistake, twice is a choice. Sideshow Bob says he's having a mare. Oh, Sideshow Bob is having a mare. He can join the club. Because so are we. Oh, we are done. Oh, my pie packet doesn't cover this.
Can I get in there invite? Please, please.
Oh,
Then restart my game. You get a chest. Don't mind.
I'll invite in the now. There we go.
You.
Oh my god. Kevin today, see in this interval, message me in the chat. Message me and Freeman in the chat, and you tell us what track's your favourite. Just to pass the time, because we've got nothing. But just tell us what your favourite track is and why. And I want to see if anybody actually says Japan. I would probably say mine is... I would say mine is Brazil. I really love Brazil.
Yeah. I really love that track too.
I think Brazil would be one that gets said. Oh, he says, I mean, you having a mare getting this race started. Oh, I mean, it's no my responsibility to get this race started. But I can get what you mean. I think like the drivers and the race organisers themselves are getting growingly frustrated at what's happening. I feel like, I mean, I can get once, but once by one driver, I can get that. I mean, obviously we want to rubber stamp these issues out. I feel like we want to have a very smooth, very efficient operation of the league races. So if we're not getting that, it's going to burn, it's going to frustrate us a wee bit. But I think the fact that it's happened twice by the same driver, then that's where it becomes more than just a mistake.
Yeah.
But I feel I do feel for the drivers in this situation purely because, and I feel for everybody. Like I feel for the spectators trying to sit and watch the race. I feel for. I mean, I kind of sit and sympathise with us because we are sitting here, waiting on the race kind of gone to, and we are getting wee snippets of information as and when this is happening, and we're kind of waiting to get on with and do their job. The drivers are the same. They're just they're kind of getting held up for their work they know, and it's just burning at the time. We would have been well and truly into at least the pit stop one day by now, if it was to be a smooth run from the first session. But we are still trying to set up, and that means we're running behind. So that's not really how we want to run things.
Yeah.
But I feel like I mean I wanna say that it's gonna be fine this time. But there's a bit in me that can't even promise it because I'm unsure. I really don't know. But I like Brazil.
Yeah.
I like Bahrain. I like Bahrain. I like Germany. I like
Baku.
I don't know if I was gonna be. Oh, Baku can do one. I mean, if I had the power to say whatever I wanted, I would say every bad word under the sun about that track because I hate it. It's just no a racetrack to me. I kind of is, but it just doesn't feel like one. It just feels like. Kind of what it feels like. If you played that game, Freeman, if you played that game where, right, ken how you play Operation, like the wee board game, and you have to get like the wee bits of pieces with the guy's body without touching the metal sides.
I don't think I've played that game. I think I have maybe,
Right.
but I forget.
See when, right? Well, like we'll know that it's not exactly that per se, but see like the game where you've got like the wee metal hook and you've got to kind of navigate your way across the metal kind of, oh, what do you call it? I don't know what you call them, but like if you touch the metal bit, it kind of like it dings and it goes off. So like, if you like if you've got a wee hook and you've got to go around the metal rods without touching it, and you have to go from one side or the other without touching it. If you touch it, you lose. Obviously, I kind of feel like Baku's that. Like, I just feel like it's just pure stress, and you have to just avoid. I mean, also you have to avoid hitting the wall.
It's very
I mean,
tricky.
I love Monaco. I quite like Singapore, but I just don't like Baku, and I feel like it just isn't. It just doesn't have any character to it. It's just there. It feels like a chore rather than a pastime or a challenge. It just feels like a chore, and I don't want tracks to feel like that. I feel like
It's very
Baku's
tricky.
just a chore. I feel like I'm trying to think. Like Singapore is a bit stressful, but it's not a chore. Like I can do Singapore. Like Russia's a chore. Russia can just do one.
But I love Russia.
You've got
Russia's great.
You've got Russia's. Oh, I mean, Russia's no terrible, but it's no get anything worth. It's no get anything like. It's no get any like iconic credible features. It's just there. Just like Baku. It's just there.
Yeah. I mean, that's a fair point.
Bob
It's
says,
a very tricky
oh,
track,
sorry.
and yeah, it's just a very tricky track, and you can't really like, get distracted or anything like that. Because if you do, you'll just be in the wall. It requires so much focus, attention. Like one little mistake and you ruin your race, just like Monaco.
Aye. Sideshow Bob says, France is my favourite track. It's just got everything. It's brilliant. I mean, I think France is kind of like your Marmite, to be honest. Some folk love the track, other folk hate it. I don't know. I think it's. I think I've got to agree with that. I think it's alright. It's not terrible.
Yeah.
Like, on the game, it's quite good. I quite enjoy it in the game, but see, in real life, it needs work. France. I remember when they brought France back onto the calendar, and that chicane in the middle of the big straight was like, what folk were calling like the track's kryptonite. Like it was just like, this is going to make the track terrible, and I'm like, I feel like having a chicane in the middle actually does help. And it does. Like there's overtaking in there quite a plenty. Like there's plenty of overtaking opportunity. There's plenty wheel-to-wheel action on the two big straights. You've got the first sector in itself, which is quite tight and twisty, but it does promote overtaking into turn 1 and 2, and even into last sector I would maybe rearrange, but I could probably let that slide if they change like wee bits, like they change the pit lane on this game to make the pit lane less inconvenient for the drivers, shall we say. But I'll probably agree with Sideshow Bob there. I quite enjoy the track driving on it. It's no terrible. It doesn't really. It's like Japan. It doesn't really deserve the hate that it gets. Owen Hill says, takes a while to get grid sorted, and this guy's in his first race. Clearly didn't read the rules thoroughly enough. See, I don't know. Like that's the kind of thing. Like,
I mean, he was told. We told him rules, but hey, we all make mistakes, and just hope he doesn't do it again. How we get this race going.
I mean, I don't think. I mean, I don't know about yourself, Freeman. I mean, you'll probably have a more of a understanding of the rule book than what I do. But I mean, like, if the rules are to be if the rules continuously be broken, then SLR has a duty to bring the rule book down on somebody if they continue to deviate from that law. Owen Hill, like is saying this is his guy's first race. I mean, the first race, it does kind of bring in a benefit of the doubt, but at the same time, it's the whole thing again. It's the first time's a mistake, second time's a choice.
Yeah,
If he was told the first time, don't do it.
I do feel for him.
Then, I mean, if it's his first race, then fine. I'm no one to like sound like I'm being like, I'm no one to sound like I'm enforcing the law. I'm in no position to do that. Like, and the last thing I want to do is be somebody that sounds too critical with somebody. Like, that's the last thing I want to be. I'm just trying to kind of get to grips with the rule myself about a 5-minute interval between the qualifying and the race. So I'm just hoping that it doesn't happen again, purely because one, we want the race to get back on and underway, and two, we don't want to like have this running much longer than we need to. But I kind of get what Owen's saying though, because his first race, probably a bit of pressure on him, so we can probably like, I'll try and sound less. I mean, if I'll apologise if I'm sounding a bit arrogant towards Grand Prix for the way I'm going on, but and I'll apologise to him on the stream, and I'll apologise to him directly if I have to. But like I can understand the pressure kind of gets to you if it's your first race, because you want to make that impression. You want to look good on your debut. You want to like impress.
Yeah.
You're out there to do a job, but at the same time, it's so easy to buckle to that pressure. So we'll give him the free pass, but the free pass only really works on your debut. It doesn't really work anywhere else. So and he's served the penalty you get for it. He's been demoted back of the grid. So he's paid the price for that, and he's just got extra work to do when it comes to the race. We are in a 5-minute interval now, so this is your klaxon to go and use a toilet, get yourself something to eat, something to drink, get yourself comfy in your bed or on your couch or with your mates. So be sure to be back in time for the race start. Freeman, do we have a official time before the formation commences?
Yeah, I believe we're supposed to be going any time now. We were supposed to start a minute ago, but I think we're just gonna wait another minute or so. But yeah, I believe we were
That's fine.
going any time.
That's fine. Well, this is your few-minute warning to go and get the essentials. Just don't go outside and say that though, because they'll probably give you a fine and take you back home. But look through the chat. Sideshow Bob says yes. Agree so much with you about the straight. It needed something in the middle. It did. Like, I don't think it really would have benefited just being a big straight, because I feel like, see, the thing is, see for France, see for Paul Ricard, you could run like 100+ different formats in the circuit.
Yeah.
Because there's just so many layouts. They could have done anything in that middle. Like, I think like doing anything in that middle bit of the straight, than just keeping it straight, is a good move. Because I feel like it's so much easier. I mean, like I like my high speed 200 mph plus overtakes on big straights like in Monza or in Spa or in Mexico. But in France, I don't know. Like, and plus the reason why I like straight line wheel to wheel battles in tracks like Monza, Spa, and the Mexican GP circuit is because they've got hard braking zones at the end of it. See, in France, it's just a quick right. You can keep flat. Like, also maybe not 200 mile an hour. Like, you'd have to like lift off and like just chuck the car in. But I feel like that chicane in the middle kind of creates not one overtaking opportunity, but it creates another one into that fast line. So
yeah, absolutely.
Overtaking opportunities. So I feel like the organisers of that circuit done it right. But he says if it was just a long straight and two long right turns, it wouldn't have had that thrill. I mean, I'd perfectly agree with that. I feel like the track itself has got a very thrilling element to it. I think that quick turn 11 at the end of the big straight is really, it's really gripping. Like, it really like gets the adrenaline pumping for these drivers.
Yeah.
There's tracks like that. They have corners like there's 130R here, for example. Like 130R is the exact same. That Turn 11's the exact same. Eau Rouge. You've got Magus and Beckett's. You've got Cops. I think Cops is probably, like, I'd probably say Cops more than Magus and Beckett's. I think that's just flat out. That's a good quick right-hander. You just kind of chuck the car into the right, and the car just it's like its own rails. So like there is at least, I think maybe ranking France's quick right as high as that is maybe a bit generous, but it has that same characteristic and that same element. But we're going to divert from that.
Go through the grid. Go on through the grid.
And we'll go back to the formation lap. Dark Zenon's led us through 2/3 of the circuit as he comes through the Delta line to turn sector 3, leading the pack through the field, through the track. So how are we feeling about the race? Trips, be sure to let us know in the chat as Dark Zenon exits the Castle Chicane back onto the grid. He'll be taking up his grid slot in a few moments' time, and it'll be Grand Prix being the last to line up come to the end of the formation lap, as he's got Lewis OD on in front of him. Gaz sits 16th, Sprightly 15th, Plain Teddy and Steve-O 14th, 13th. Steve-O gains another place through another penalty. Ronda Jules in 12th, Hicklin 11th place. Scott Laney, Paul, Crush, Zach, Craig, Nedclaw, Neelix, Scott, Gareth, Dark Zenon, all in the grid slots here. The lights are about to come on here for the commencing of this Japanese Grand Prix.
There we go.
Suzuka. I've got Dark Zenon on the left. We've got Gareth there at the right hand side in the pit wall
There
in
we
the
go.
front row. The lights are on. We're at 1 light, 2 light, 3 light, 4 light, 5 lights. The fans are beginning to wave and cheer as the engine's revving. The lights turn off and we are off and racing. The camera angle was absolutely terrible, but now it's changed and we've got the volumes of Dark Zenon getting away cleanly, but it's Scott on the outside of the car into turn 1, and it's another lightning start as we see a bit of carbon fibre flying off one of the cars in the midfield there, but Scott off to another absolute flyer, and we've got something in the wall in the back there, and he's out and retired. Sprightly in the wall as well, and he's picked up some damage as well. The Renault didn't even make it to the first S's for the first time, and he is out of the Japanese Grand Prix. Dark Zenon's got a bit of a buffer to Scott, who gained the place of Gareth. Neelix has lost 2 places off the start to Craig and Nedclaw as well. Zakis Beast and Orange Crush keep the 4th row, 7th and 8th. Scott, Laney, Hicklin up to 10th, 5th to start 11th. Paul's lost a place there. Steve-O up to 12th. Jules loses a place. Gaz has to try and avoid the Toro Rosso on the braking into Begna 2, but the yellow flags are out and the virtual safety car is out on the circuit, and everybody is having to decrease their top speed by 40% under the virtual safety car, the VSC. And we've got damage on the back. We've got damage on the front wing of that Ferrari Sprightly, and we've got 1 retirement in the name of Lewis for the Renault.
Could you please show the intervals and positions?
Oh, the position changes.
Put the position.
Right, we've got the positions there, and we're back under racing conditions here. And big winners off that start would be Craig.
Nedclaw.
Neelix has lost 2.
Big die.
And Nedclaw.
Great move.
And makes the move. And we're going to have Craig pushing the Renault through the final turn there. And he's right under that rear wing. Pushing the Renault into turn 1. He's trying to look for a move. And Nedclaw just keeps around the outside. But Neelix behind there nearly went out wide there on the exit to turn 2. Well, exit to turn 1 into the entry of turn 2. And we'll see what else is happening. Red Bull 7th and 8th still there. They're two are battling each other. Scott Laney up to 9th. Hickman's up to 10th. Darren Paul's lost 2 places. Steve-O's up to 12th, and he's chasing this pack. Darren Paul and Hicklin. Hicklin's went wide, and Darren Paul's up the inside at Dunlop.
Steve-O's getting interested.
And Steve-O is having a wee look at the Mercedes here in front of him. Paul had a look up the inside of Hicklin at Dunlop. Hicklin drifted out a wee bit too wide.
Neelix.
And on the exit.
Big
Neelix there.
Tried to dive at the hairpin and tried to shut the door. Hicklin gas spun. Not sure what happened there.
You're right there.
Gas too.
You're right there, Freeman. But we've missed Freeman and no missed Freeman. Freeman's no spun. Freeman's sitting right next to me here on the commentary box. But Hicklin and Gaz have made contact, or they've just spun on their own accord, but both are finding themselves at the back end of the field. Sprightly's had to make a pit stop in his 40 seconds adrift to the pack as Dark Zen and knocks the front bollard out his socket there as he comes across the line to take lap 3 of 27.
Putting Teddy
Scott
big
is
dog.
already.
I was
Scott
back.
is
Putting Teddy up to 12th.
and we're going to see Steve-O up the inside. Teddy is really defending it too hard here. Steve-O will have the inside of turn 1. You'll need to slow the car down to
Gets
turn
the
2.
move done. Just play take a
Steve-O
try and
gains the
switch back.
points.
Tries a little bit, but can't quite get it. Oh, Steve-O! Steve-O!
Oh, and Steve-O's in the wall!
Oh!
Steve-O's in the wall.
Steve-O's got a lot
there,
of
yellow
gas.
flags.
Oh,
Yellow flags are out
Yeah.
in the first sector. He's lost his front left end plate and front wing. There's Freeman's disconnected for the game. I don't know if he's disconnected for the chat. You still here?
yeah, I'm
Danny
sick of
Eaton,
here.
Vivian.
Yeah, I'm gonna restart
Still
my
in the
game
game?
quick. No, I'm
Alright,
gonna
okay. I'll invite you in just now. Just before
I take my
No, 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 no.
Xbox.
Before I forget. Apologies for the blank camera viewers. I'm just going to try and get my co-commentator back into the game, and we'll go through the pack and see what else is happening. We've got Dark Zenon stretching his legs at this point. 3 laps in and he's already got a 3-second gap to Scott. Scott and Gareth are kind of driving nip and tuck in second and third place before a 2.2 second gap splits Gareth and Nedclaw in the pack between 4th and 7th as the split. And you've got a train behind Orange Crush. As we see Scott Laney and Darren Paul having a battle there, and Jules is looking to get into this battle as well. So while one Toro Rosso makes his way past the racing point, the other one will be looking to make quick work of it. But Paul's going to have the DRS on Scott Laney, and Jules is going to have a double slipstream into turn 1 up the inside of the Force India racing point rather. And he gets the move stick. Toro Rosso's just swarmed like a pack of hungry wolves there on a stick India. That is how quick and efficient they acted on the racing point is the stricken, but that just emphasises the teamwork for the 2 Toro Rosso boys there in making the move stick. Paul's lost 2 and Joseph spun.
Oh!
Joseph spun and he's and
Yep.
Teddy just hit to avoid him. Grand Prix hit to avoid. There's Gaz, and they're going to have Neelix coming round
my
10.
goodness.
What happened to Neelix? Did Neelix pit?
I think he's
Neelix is doing in 13th. Oh my god.
in a pit, so must have had some kind of accident.
Oh my god. No being the race for Neelix, finally cell down in 13th, even having a pit stop. The yellow flags out in the first sector as well, and that's the Ferrari of Sprightly as Freeman rejoins us once again. You've got Sprightly and Steve-O, 16th and 17th. Quite a good distance after back. Hicklin's pitting for hard, so he'll be looking to go to the end, and we're going to see the McLaren have an opportunity on the back of the Ferrari here as the battle for second heats up here. Gareth's going to have the DRS on Scott. Scott's not going to have to make a defensive move because he's got the line into turn 1 and 2. So I can really see a battle heating up between these two for second place. I was really wondering, I was really kind of tipping them highly to have a battle with Dark Zenon in this race, but Dark Zenon's just got to sell a decent start and he's just galloped onto the distance.
Yeah,
but
wide out in front.
He's definitely making the gains so early on in this race. But we'll look at the positions and we'll just see like who's really gained off the first few laps. You've got obviously the big gains there in the midfield. You've got Terry up 4, Grand Prix up 7th after the motor comes back to the grid. And you've got Gaz up 4 as well. Obviously Neelix the biggest loser you can see on the board there. Doing 9. Jules picking a 3-second time penalty to 2 racing points, switch places there. I think Klein Terry made the move on Paul, but they've got Grand Prix right there as well. So obviously Neelix big loser there, losing 9 places. Hicklin spun, he's lost 4, and Steve-O's lost 4 after spinning at turn 4 on lap 3. But while this is happening, we're going to sit on board with Gareth as he looks at the rear end of this Ferrari through the Casio chicane. He'll be shaping the car up for a move into turn 1. If he can get a decent exit here, some good traction, and get the DRS and slipstream working efficiently here, then he might have an opportunity into turn 1. Scott doesn't need to move defensive because
I think he's
Gareth's
close enough.
near making a move.
Craig behind, past that car.
And on the other hand, while Gareth can make the move on Scott into turn 1, Craig shows us how it's done with a move on Nedclaw, so they two have switched places there as well. Nedclaw will be looking to try and keep within touching distance of the Mercedes to try and maybe get his own back somewhere across the track. The two Red Bulls gaining on them, kind of closing in here. Like Red Bull dynamic is Zach and Crush is kind of working quite well here because they're kind of reeling 4th and 5th in. And they're not causing each other trouble to lose time. Also, like Crush is 1.1 seconds behind. And yellow flags out in the first. What's happened there? It seems to be a slow racing point, and that's Paul once again. Paul's got damage on that left front. He's got left front damage on that front end plate.
Yep.
And we're going to see Gaz maybe have a look up the inside here at the hairpin. Does Gaz outbreak the racing point?
Go.
He makes the move stick. Paul kind of ends, but Paul's giving him a wee tap there and nearly put Gaz into the wall there. Paul's quite a feisty character. He's got damage and he might need to realise that this is his fight. He's going to have the other pass and Neelix and Jules right there as well.
130R.
We're going to see. You're right there, Freeman. Zach has made the move on the inside of 130R. Apologies to have missed that there, viewers, but Nedclaw was looking to make a move back on him once again. And Zach's going to have to go defensive. Nedclaw, no, he's starting to opt for the slipstream now. He's gave. And that's meant that Crush is having a look up round the outside of turn 1. And
round the outside. Yeah, quite difficult run. And go side by.
Go side for this. He's on!
Oh!
And Nedclaw's tapped Crush, and Crush is running in the wall. Is he out of the Grand Prix? He's been able to reverse it, but he's got some damage on that Red Bull.
Yep. Check it out. Right, I think.
He's lost his front right end plate on that Red Bull. We need to come in and get that repaired because having front wing damage on a track like Suzuka is absolutely crucial in terms of your aerodynamic ability. It is a pure aerodynamic and chassis circuit here in Singapore and Suzuka, and he's gonna be somewhat of a mobile chicane to Jules and Neelix. He did let them pass there, but it was in a very inconvenient place on the inside of Digna 1. But we'll jump back on board with this battle for second place. Dark Zenon's run off onto the distance and he is out of sight, but Gareth is right there with Scott once again. I don't think he's going to try into the braking zone here, but he'll try and shape himself and get himself a good purchase off the exit of the Castle chicane. Scott might need to, I don't know if he's going to go defensive this time. Scott's been quite confident in his run-outs off the final turn, so I don't think he needs to make it defensive. He's kind of moving a wee bit there. Gareth going to try and he's going to try and once again isn't he close enough to make the move stick. So I feel like you really need a strong special exit from the final chicane into turn 1, purely because the braking zone isn't as heavy as other turns such as the hairpin. I feel like the harder the braking zone, the easier the move is. But see, because you're coming off in a straight with such high speed.
Quick Teddy's off.
Oh, and he's off in the first sector at turn 6. Turn 6 is seen playing Teddy spin off into the gravel trap there as well, and Paul and Orange Crush trade places as the Red Bull comes out the pits, and he's got Sprightly right there as well. Sprightly will be looking to try and get past the Red Bull. Crush is on hards though, Darren Paul's on hards, Hicklin's on hards, so you've got a few hard tyre runners here trying to make the hards go to the end.
But maybe they weren't so confident with the mediums. Yeah, they just weren't confident that they could get to the end, so just want to play it safe and
sorry, just to cut across you there again.
Yep,
Gareth's going to have a look around the, he's going to go
Oh,
around
on the grass.
outside of
On the
Scott,
outside.
and he's going to try and make the move stick. Oh, I've just
Scott,
clubbed away
Scott
from it.
goes deep.
And,
Gareth can't
and
quite
Scott
switch
keeps
back.
the place. And this is kind of when Gareth's starting to be a bit more confident in terms of his driving ability. And it's a dirty, and Scott's away! And Scott's away into the gravel trap at turn 5.
Scott's gonna watch.
Disaster.
Oh,
And on
my
the Red Bull there!
goodness.
And the Red Bull with Zach's just tapped him round again just to make the
My
job
goodness.
doubly difficult there, and he's trying to keep out the.
Oh,
and he's right there, and he's come back on, and
Scott
he's
Lenny.
got Scott Laney right there, and Scott has no had a decent lap 9. I think his soft tyres have seen the end of its days as the yellow flags are out in the first sector, and they're quickly away again before we could even realise we're out on their back again once more. But Scott and Scott Laney.
Zach
left.
left. Right, I'll try to get back in.
Try and get him back in, Freeman, no worries.
Yep, I got him.
But Scott, as they have in the race that he would have wanted, I think his tyres, I think his rears have just seen enough.
Yeah.
And they're kind of screaming at this point. They're not really, they're kind of bast. Oh, look at the Alpha Grand Prix there on the inside of Spoon. There as well, we missed that. He had a bit of a moment there, and we're going to see Gaz close up to Scott Laney, but Scott Laney's no closing up to Scott. So is Scott Laney going to try and make a move? He does go defensive to protect the lunge for Gaz, but it's kind of put him out of shape on the exit of the chicane.
Yep.
Scott's into the pits, you're right there, Freeman. Both Scotts are in the pits. Scott Laney and Scott for Ferrari are in the pits. Gaz moves up to 5th. And this is when we're starting to see the pit lane action filter in now. We've got a few drivers coming into the pits. This is the pit window period. Freeman did say lap 9 to lap 10. Lap 9 for an undercut, lap 10 for your standard pit, pit
deep.
stop. And we're going to see Jules hassling Zach's beast for the P6 there as well.
Yeah, Jules just overshot turn 1. That got past me easily.
We've got Lewis in the chat. I don't know how long this chat's been here for, but it says no one can race. So I think if that's the case, we're going to maybe see some stewarding action. If he's going to file a complaint against somebody's driving style or the situation that happened, he's been out of the race since turn 1, lap 1. Turn 2, lap 1. Apologies if you want to be factually accurate about it. But he didn't even make it through the first 2 turns before being put in the wall and retiring, walking back to the Renault garage. So he's not really had a race to remember. He's not really been part of the race, if you're being brutally honest with things. But it's not been a race for him and for Renault. It's not been a race in terms of his championship aspirations either. And Dark Zenon leading is maximum points as it stands. I think he's got the fastest lap as well. He's got the fastest lap currently. Gareth comes out of the pits trying to make the undercut work here as well. Sorry to cut across you there, Freeman, but Gareth's trying to maybe make an undercut work, and we'll see if Jules is closing up to Zach. Zach is trying to go defensive. We've got Gareth there on the right there as well. Jules
go around the outside.
And he makes it. Does he make it stick? Oh, he makes it stick, and he's drifting from the outside, but Zach's getting him a bit of a squeeze there, and Zach takes the place. It was the tiniest amount braking that he didn't put in that really let that Toro Rosso drift on the outside, and it was just continuing to drift on the outside, and that allowed Zach just to get a bit of traction on the inside or two to give him the upper hand and give him the power to squeeze Jules on the exit of 2 and tighten his line for turn 3, which meant Jules did have to back out of that. But exceptional racing there for the pair of them. And it was so close to a phenomenal move on the outside for the Toro Rosso driver there. It was so close. And Gareth is trying to make the undercut work. He has just committed, and Dark Zenon is obviously into the pits to try and cover that undercut. And he picks up a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Speeding in the pit lane does Dark Zenon. He's picked up a 5-second time penalty for that. And I don't know if he'll be serving it this time around. Craig comes out of the pits as well. And Jules is having a wee look at Zach's beast. Is he going to try and let the car roll into the braking zone? He does not. Zach's beast goes a bit deep though and ruins his exit there, and Zach is beast
Jules
as a
staying out
sitting duck
still.
here. Jules,
Gets a great
he
exit.
does a wee switch back there, takes a slipstream, and Jules takes a DRS for the extra benefit there as well, and makes the move stick on Zach. But one thing that Gareth doesn't want is he can't afford to sit in this battle for too long, because he's going to dirt his tyres, he's going to reduce the amount of turning and traction he's going to get from the front wheels, and he's going to burn the time that he's trying to gain on the drivers running about him. He was 5 seconds behind Dark Zenon, he continues to be 5 seconds behind Dark Zenon after the pit stops, but he's wanted to try and reduce his damage to Ned, Claw, Gaz, and other drivers running about him. So he needs to make quite work of these two in front if he's to try and make anything work this race. I don't think it's actually alarm bells at the moment, but he doesn't want to be stuck behind them for too long. I think he might make work on Zach when they run into 150R, because he's got much fresher rubber, and then he's going to have much more confidence and traction on fresh medium tyres, and already he's starting to close the Red Bull window. Zach is beast. He doesn't even go defensive, so he kens this is no his fight to be in, and he lets the McLaren take the inside into 150R, and Gareth does take a bit extra curve there on the inside and drifts out that wee bit wider than you originally want to be. But Jules, does he stay out?
Still stays out.
He's trying to make an overcut work. He's lapping quite well in relation to maybe like Zach is beast and Neelix running about him, who's on a similar strategy to him. I can't also he's on the softs. He's the only driver other than Steve to be on the softs. But he'll mainly be racing drivers like Zach, like Neelix, like maybe Scots. If they kind of get themselves back into it, they'll be racing them.
Yeah.
So we'll kind of see that heat up once the pit window firmly closes, and he picks up a second time penalty there for excessive track limits. Is there anything else we can see on the timing board or on track at the moment, Freeman, that is catching your eye?
What was that? Sorry.
Is there any on-track action or information you've got there that's kind of happening underneath our noses at the minute? I'm currently watching Dark Zenon close this gap between himself and Gaz as we see yellow flags out in the first, and I think that's Steve-O. Steve-O's not really having a race to remember, and I think his feelings for the track are really becoming evident now. Steve-O talked to us in the chat in qualifying, saying that he has absolutely no time, and he really doesn't like the track, and it purely comes down to the pad versus wheel argument, and I think he's just not really been too confident in his pad ability. Like, I mean, there's been times where Steve-O has been really good, and there's just maybe races like Japan that kind of keep up for Steve-O. Just doesn't sit well with him, doesn't really suit his style, doesn't really suit his setup, and it's just really kind of, it's like when it rains it pours, so when one thing goes wrong it kind of all goes wrong. So I think he's just having a living nightmare. I think he'll probably call it that, but there is yellow flags in the second sector which are quickly eradicated there, but Dark Zenon is right on the rear wing of the Hassie. Gaz here, so Dark Zenon will want to try and get by the Haas here, because Gareth's got by Zach as well. So if Gareth has a clean run to Dark Zenon, 4.4 seconds gap though, but he's got a clean run to the lead, the net leader. Gaz goes defensive, and he's moving back to the middle of the track to give Zenon a squeeze, but Zenon makes the move.
Orange crash.
There's a crash and there's a crash
there, Paul. Safety car.
There's a crash.
Sprite
There's a crash. And there's a crash
almost slammed into Paul.
Dunlop. And
gas pits.
Orange crush.
That cost, so it's just really helping those guys who start on the medium. Gary stays out. Zach pits. Craig stays out. Oh, fortunate crush and Paul. York State's out. We've Scott. They out too. Yes, it's certainly bonus. Race right open. Be anyone right now, I think.
A full course safety car, full course yellow, here at
Yes.
Suzuka on lap 15 of 27.
That's one of the hearts. Why he started in medium. He should have went on the soft, but maybe he just didn't think that soft would last. Maybe, but yeah, interesting. Well,
I feel like this is an opportunity for drivers like everybody that's not on the softs to jump back on the softs.
yeah,
Um,
if they want, they might not think that the tires could last.
I mean, I genuinely feel like drivers like Zen and Gareth Craig, they have all missed a trick in pitting for soft tyres. Nedclaw picked up on the trick. Gaz kind of picked up on something else entirely, went for the hard tyres.
Yeah.
Felix is he's still to pit, so he's going to lose a lot of places under the safety car because he's to pit regardless, because they're his starting tyres. He's the only person to actually make a pit stop this race. This brings drivers like Sprightly, Paul, Steve-O back into the mix. It brings drivers like the back three, Steve-O, Paul and Sprightly, who have not had the best luck this race, to come back in and try and treat a redemption. Neelix is into the pits there. I think he had to pit. I think if he left that later, he would have probably missed his chance. So he needs to pit now. Jules is coming into the pits. I think he'll probably
He
back
just
on
is
the soft tyre.
York.
And Neelix goes soft tyres. Jules, I'm going to see what tyres the Toro Rosso team have ready. What tyres have they got ready for Jules here in the pit box? They have soft tyres at the ready, the red wall tyres here. Scott Laney goes round to continue on mediums. Hicklin's on softs, Grand Prix on mediums, Sprightly's mediums, Paul's mediums, and Steve-O's mediums. And it'll just be a matter of whether Sprightly, Paul and Steve-O can actually join the end of this queue, this safety car snake, before the lights go off on the top of that car, the top of the Mercedes. And if they do, then they could potentially get themselves back into this mixing pot for the points. So I feel like they kind of need to get their skates on, because I don't know if the safety car's got to boot for another lap, or if it's going to just be this one, and then it's in. But Dark Zen isn't really letting the safety car get too far away from him. He's kind of keeping close to the safety car being piloted by Bernd Mailander. And it's Williams continuing to lead this race once more. Gareth is in second, and it means that gap between Zen and Gareth that was built up in the first stint, like that 5-6 second gap, has been well and truly washed away by the safety car period.
And he has that 5-second pen too, so it could.
That's right.
Yeah.
Freeman, he's got a 5-second penalty to manoeuvre around as well. So this is really hurting Dark Zen, and then this really has put Gareth into play here. It's put Craig into play. It's put Nedclaw. It's put everybody.
He's on softs, so he can.
Everybody has a fair shot.
Yeah, maybe Nedclaw can make some moves since he's on the fresher tires. I think the safety car is staying out. Yep, staying out.
Freeman,
is it?
I'm gonna pitch a question to you purely because you're a driver, right?
Yep.
Would you take, if you were in Suzuka, like also you're in Suzuka tomorrow, for tomorrow's top tier race at 7 o'clock Sunday, BST British Summertime, so be sure to join us on the SLR channel for the top tier race around the Suzuka, where you'll see Freeman, yours truly, and the commentary booth alongside me on the track in the Ferrari, aiming to get another win, and you'll join the commentary team for that race tomorrow night. But Freeman, you put yourself in the situation of the drivers. Do you want track position on medium tyres, or do you want the soft tyres that are very fresh and you're sitting before? So would you take... Right, we'll say Dark Zenon minus the penalties. Say he's penalty free or Gareth, right, and you've got track position on medium tyres. Would you take the track position, or would you take Nedclaw on fresh softs?
I'd rather take track position, honestly. I feel like the softs can dive very quickly. Got 10 laps, but yeah, personally around this track, I would just rather have track position. Maybe around a track where softs are like way quicker, maybe. But I think mediums aren't too bad compared to the softs, so I'll just be right about the deck. I'm honest, so yeah, I would personally just stay out.
What worries me though, as we saw how unstable 10-lap-old soft tyres made Scott's Ferrari.
Yeah,
We
exactly.
saw him slide into the wall in the S section. We saw Jules manage to tame the worn softs for 13 laps before pitting for mediums. Then the safety car community went back out to the soft. So he's gone for it again. Safety car is going to come in. So Dark Zenon is going to inherit the power of the safety car here as the safety car makes its way back into the pit lane. So it's Zenon's responsibility to back up the pack here and get them ready once more as they get them underway back into racing conditions. We can see the Ferris wheel there in the distance.
Oh, Craig!
Load of the Williams. And Craig's picked up a 5-second time penalty for ramming into the back of Gareth, and Dark Zenon's off. He has launched, he has left Gareth in his burst there, and Gareth has kind of kept on there, but it's Craig that's really lost it, especially having to make the contact on the back of the McLaren there, and picked up a 5-second time penalty for hitting the back of him there. Nedclaw is on soft tyres, so he'll be one to watch, as is Hicklin, Neelix and Jules in the midfield there. Gaz on the hard tyres. He was the confident on the softs, make it to the end, but he is ensured his run to the end has got to be possible. As we see Dubs right on the back of Nedclaw there, so Nedclaw's went slow somewhere in the S section. Gaz is taking a bit of the grass there, taking a wee bit of grass cutting with the right tyres there on the Haas as we're starting to see a big gap form between Gareth and Craig for second and third. So Gareth and Zenon really kind of running off into the distance here, and Craig's not really got up to grips with his tyres yet. Yellow flags in the first sector, and that's the Red Bull of Zach there at the back. He's spun at Dunlop once again. Dunlop really kind of racking up his numbers now in terms of victims. And you've got Hicklin, Neelix.
Craig lost his front left. Craig lost his front left and plate gone. I think if that contact Gareth left off end plate. Now Nedclaw's got a great run.
Alright, right. And we're going to have Nedclaw looking at the Mercedes of Craig. Is Nedclaw going to try and outbrake? Craig's going to go defensive into the chicane, which is going to ruin any line that he takes. He outbreaks himself into the chicane there, which means Nedclaw can straighten up the car, and already he's right on the rear wing of the Mercedes. And we've got the Haas there, so it's a train here. Craig's going to go defensive. Nedclaw is on the right of the Renault, and Nedclaw loses out to Gaz there, and Gaz takes 2 places as he goes up the inside of Craig as well. Pushes Craig a bit wide there, and then that means Nedclaw can get through there as well. And this is Scott and Teddy starting to get into it. Hicklin's in here as well. Scott Laney.
Hicklin, Scott, Neelix, Jules. Right, it's just a little bit farther back.
And we're starting to see a big battle starting to form behind Gaz. And Craig really looking uneasy on the medium tyres on that restart. I don't think he's got them up to temperature yet. Scott does go a bit wide, which means Teddy can go up the inside. And there's a wee bit of tyre tapping. There, and Hicklin up the running the outside, playing Teddy there. And
Neelix.
Teddy moves to squeeze Neelix on the outside of the hairpin there as well, and that makes Neelix think twice about moving the outside of the hairpin on Teddy. But Teddy is going to have to defend for the Haas driver. Neelix is looking, and
Hicklin.
And Hicklin's looking at Scott, and I think Hicklin's picked up some damage. Hicklin's picked up some damage there on the front right frame when he's lost his front right, and he's having the racing point to Teddy right on the rear wing. We'll see if Teddy makes the move stick. Hicklin is away to the right. He is trying to defend it.
He's go for it.
He's kind of slowing down there. And
Nedclaw getting close to Gas. Need to have some contact. Oh, Scott Waney. Got ways round.
Oh, and Steve was
two.
cutting the final
Steve was
chicane
off.
there as well.
Yep.
It's all kind of kicking off on this restart, as we're starting to see the pack between. We've got a wee battle at the front between Dark Zenon and Gareth. I mean, it is a 1.9 split, but it's a 5.3 split between Gaz and Gareth, who is between second and third. And I think Gareth just needs to keep within 5 seconds of Dark Zenon, and he's got this race. But there's 7 laps left. Dark Zenon needs to pull out 2.5 seconds again if he wants to ensure the victory here in Suzuka. And Nedclaw is giving Gaz a bit of a run here, and they're starting to break off this wee battle for Craig. Craig is really no funny momentum after the restart. So I don't know if he's going to change the setup in the car, or he's just he's not got enough temperature or optimum temperature or efficiency in terms of car performances, like his tyres and his brakes, steering, etc. So maybe he's just not kind of 100% confident with what he's got at the moment. And that's really detrimental to his race, because not only is extending the gap between himself and the front runners, but it's really kind of making him victim to drivers behind as Dark Zenon goes fastest. And this, like, it's just like that right there. Craig just looks so slow through the slow sectors.
Yeah, Craig.
And it's side by side there. Sorry, just to cut across you there, 3 minutes side by side between the Haas and the Renault. Renault on the outside, Haas on the inside. Gaz lets Nedclaw take the place. Nedclaw is on 2 tyres, softer rubber, but Hicklin on the outside. Hicklin and Teddy literally replicate the move. Nedclaw on Gaz just a moment ago. And Scott makes his way past Craig as well.
Oh,
Scott's went off there as well. No harm done. He's got a bit of dirt on his tyres though, but it'll not be long before the tyres rubber in back onto the circuit once again, and the grip should be there. But this has put him on the back foot because Hicklin's right there, and Hicklin is the only one there waiting to pounce. He's got basically the full midfield there as well. He's going to have Plain Teddy, he's going to have Neelix, and he's going to have Jules there waiting for the slightest slip up, and they are ready to benefit for any mistake in this pack. Sprightly's even catching up on this pack as well. Grand Prix there as well. Steve-O's only 3 seconds down the road for that, so literally anything can happen in this midfield battle. And in Formula 1, it usually does.
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
Hicklin loses it to Scott there, and that really put him on the back foot to Teddy there, but Hicklin's right on the rear wing of Scott once again. Scott's going to have to go defensive, but Hicklin has a wee look up the inside, a wee dart to the outside, the inside there to try and see what the corner's like and if it presents any real opportunity.
Neelix hook up the inside. Get it. Jules has a great run on Neelix.
And Jules is going to go up the inside and Neelix does have DRS, but it's not really as effective as it is with Jules on the back of the Toro Rosso. Jules goes up the inside, Neelix runs a bit wide there on the entry to turn 1, but Jules makes the move stick up into P9. Hicklin and Plain Teddy are still battling for P7 at the moment. Scott is kind of fun a bit of momentum again and is on the chase to Craig. Needs to get past Craig if he wants any chance of fighting to try and track down Gaz and Nedclaw, who are 3 seconds down the road. And Nedclaw's picked on a 3-second time penalty, so he might not even need to try and eat into that gap. He might just need to try and get by Craig and just keep the pace, so he doesn't need to take Nedclaw on track. But I mean, Nedclaw's picked on a 3-second time penalty, which is detrimental, which is not really what you want here. You obviously don't want a penalty full stop, but because the pack is so close together in the midfield, Nedclaw can just slip up, lose half a second, and end up like 9th, and that's not really going to do his point situation any good. He's doing a solid run into the podium at the moment, but that could easily just be wiped away with a 3-second time penalty. Could really put him into the midfield. But somebody that's got a penalty but is really exercising the opportunity to try and build the gap, and that's Dark Zenon. He's just shy of the 5-second mark that he needs.
I tell you what, deep.
Just to cut across there, but Jules makes the move on Teddy. Teddy's going to have DRS, and he's got Neelix there as well. So Neelix will have a double DRS slipstream into turn 1, but can he make any in work for it, as Neelix goes wide again on the breaking into turn 1. He takes quite a lot of the green AstroTurf on the exit of turn 1, and that,
Yeah.
I mean, it does help him straighten the car up for 2. And they've got to go side by side. Neelix is up the inside and squeezes, and Neelix is away into the wall, and Neelix is spun. And the wall there just wasn't an overtaking move on there. I don't know if the gap was just constantly closing on him, or Teddy gave him a bit of elbows out, shutting the door in his face there. But
I'm not quite sure what happened.
And Steve-O's spun at Dunlop. Sorry to
Oh,
cut
Steve-O.
Stevens.
Oh,
Steve-O's spun at Dunlop, and he's got front left end plate damage as well. And the McLaren boys will be putting their heads in their hands as he's kicking up dirt with the left wheels as well. It's just definitely no been Steve-O's race here this weekend at Suzuka. He'll be glad to see the back eight in a few laps time when the checkered flag waves, but we'll be looking to see. I think we're at Mexico next week, I believe.
yeah, pretty sure.
And
Mexico.
and there's, I don't know why Neelix has gone so slow. He's not even gone full throttle. I don't know what's happening here. I think Neelix has gone.
Yeah,
Is
I'm
there
not
a
sure.
VSC or something? Or has he just gone really slow? Because he's not
He's
gone
just-
full throttle.
Yeah, I'm not sure. He's trying to let everyone go.
While Neelix cruises back to the pits, we will have a look around and see what else is happening on circuit. We've got this wee train between Craig and Jules for 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th. 5, 6, 7, 8, and then you hit the classic steps tune out there. But we're going to see if anything will happen in between the two Mercedes, the Toro Rosso and the Ferrari here, as they're all squabbling over 5th place here at the moment. Jules really starting to hassle Hicklin, but Hicklin's really starting to put the pressure on Scott and the Ferrari, and Hicklin goes for a dive up the inside, and Scott tries to give him a squeeze on the exit there, and Hicklin makes the move stick. It's a brilliant daring move on the Ferrari, and Scott's away into the grass, and Scott's got spun, and he's on Scott's facing backwards, and he's got his teammate there on the right, and it's Sprightly, and Neelix is retired for the session as well. It's all kind of kicking off here. Neelix retires in the pit lane, and Scott was hassling Craig.
Have to watch. Watch.
And Grand Prix driving around foot of front wing as well, Feynman. He's driving about in the points paying position with foot of front wing as well, so I don't know if
no front wing
slapped a wall there as well, so he's really not having a race that he would have been wanting as well. I feel like one thing really is that I think if there's one thing that we're going to really take away for this race is the front wing bills. The bills for the damage on the front wings is going to be excessively high.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I think Hicklin just squeezed Scott and just spun him, so that was very... I don't know if it was dirty, but it was... Yeah. I think it was a little bit dirty from Hicklin, and... Yeah, I just want to point out Gas is not letting Netclaw go. Even those hards. That... I'm going. Oh, Scott's retired.
Oh, he's retired in the pit lane.
Yeah.
Be sure. Be sure to message us in the chat. Your driver of the day. Freeman, I will ask you first. Who do you think has been worthy of such a title for this race in Suzuka?
I think Netclaw. You know, he went to counter strategy, made it work so far, and put brilliant pulling position. So yeah, I think I'm gonna give it to Netclaw, but obviously you guys can just let us know in the chat what you think your driver day is. Gaz might have a go at Hicklin. Yeah, Gaz is gated, Netclaw up the inside. Gaz is up to third place.
And Nedclaw loses the place to Gaz up into the podiums, and I think the softs have really seen
died off.
Their life cycle to die off and drop off the cliff there. But I mean, driver of the day, I'd probably give it. I mean, there's a bit in me that really wants to give it to Zenon because he has just drove really well, but the only thing that's stopping me from giving him the Driver of the Day award, in my opinion, is the penalty.
Yeah.
Because speeding into the pit lane when nobody's running about you is just, it just shows a lapse in concentration. But he's done really well to recover, and to try and build on that gap. Because he needed to gap 5 seconds to Gareth, and he's doing it by 7.1 at the moment. So he's done more than he needs to
Wait, Teddy.
win this race.
Wait, Teddy spun.
On playing Teddy spun on the wee curve to spin you right there, framing his teammate Darren Paul is just coming close behind, but
Oh, point
there
Teddy.
is some debris. And playing Teddy's got some damage as
Yeah.
well, and we could see some
Jules.
Scott Laney making his way into the points if playing Teddy's going to pit there as well. But in the midst of all this, we're going to see
Yep,
Dark
Jules.
Zenon on the final.
Jules on the
Goes up
final
to
lap.
5th.
Oh, he goes too deep. Oh, shot it.
And Jules
And
looks
Craig
to
Reed takes
make the
5th.
move. And Jules looks to make the move on Craig, but he's going to have a very limited opportunity. This is the final lap, and we'll sit on board for the now. I think Zenon's only at the hairpin now, so we'll jump
Oh,
on
Craig,
to the
Craig's
end
gone
of the
deep.
final
Oh,
sector.
Jules is
Oh,
on
and
grass.
Jules has got a bit of a squeeze there for Craig on the outside into Digna 1 and on the exit at Dunlop, so Craig's really getting the elbows out and making that Mercedes as wide as he possibly can. Jules doesn't look to go defensive on the inside of the hairpin, so that will mean Jules can have an easy ride through a spoon and maybe make a move into the braking zone of the Casio chicane. But
Don't jump the
while
jerk.
all that's going to happen,
Kevin,
Goni
don't jump to him. On turn.
We'll watch Dark Zenon take the checkered flag here in Suzuka, weaves in celebration as he crosses the line, and he takes the 25 points. Gareth's going to cross the line in second place, which is a well-deserved drive, and the penalty brings it down to a 3 seconds gap. And Nedclaw, right on the rear wing of Gaz, isn't able to make
third.
it on track, but he'll get it on penalties as Gaz loses out with penalties there. Craig takes 5th, but Jules will take it on penalties, and then Hicklin will
gets
take it
5th.
after pair of them there as well. Sprightly crosses the line in 8th after a shocking qualifying to say the least, so he's done exceptionally well to get himself some points for the Ferrari team, and it'll be a racing point 9-10 as it stands. And Plain Teddy opted to go around the final lap with absolutely no front wing, so Darren Paul crosses the line 9th, Teddy will take 10th, and then he'll come across the line now in the stricken damaged racing point. Checker flag waves there in the top right there, you'll see with the guy hanging out the gantry there with the checker flag. Scott Laney will take 11th but takes 10th on penalties there, so Plain Teddy had a few penalties under his belt there. Zagas Beast takes 12th Grand Prix after being demoted to the back, takes 13th, and Steve-O will just be glad to see that checker flag. He's no one, he'll be packing his stuff up and be flying out to Mexico. He'll not be hanging about here, and Steve-O just weaves there in a moment of pure fury, but a moment of relief there as well, just to realise that race, that torture is finally over. We're gonna see the podium celebration there. Dark Zenon stands on top of the podium there, receiving the winner's trophy there for a Japanese official. And you've got Gareth on the left there in the McLaren overalls, and you've got Ned Claw on the right in the Reynolds overalls, yep. There as well as the spray of champagne and the confetti floats around in the Japanese sun. The Williams constructors mechanic just stands there, having absolutely no clue how to celebrate. But it's been a strong race for Dark Zenon, and he continues to extend his lead with a solid 25 points, and I think he also gets the fastest lap there as well, so it's a clean sweep. The only thing that wasn't clean about that was the penalty, but we'll probably ask him that soon enough when we get him in. Dark Zenon is our race winner though, here on Suzuka. Gareth, the front row qualifying, is the second here in the final race classification. Ned Claw takes third place on penalties. Gaz, after starting 16th, takes fourth place. Strong result for him. Same with Hicklin after starting just outside the top 10, up into fifth. In Freeman's driver of the day is Hicklin there as well. Jules in sixth. Craig in seventh place. Brightly in eighth after a slow qualifying. Paul and Scott round out the points paying positions. And Zach, Grand Prix, Steve-O, I'll quickly get through Scott, and somebody else, and two other folk. Were your official retirements.
Would you like to conduct the interviews, Riggs?
Why not? Are we going to do first to third, or are we going to go backwards?
Backwards. Backwards.
We got Ned Claw. Ned Claw, do you copy?
Hello.
I
There
can't
he
hear
is.
you.
I'm here, mate.
You're really quiet in my mic, I'm not going to lie.
Oh, well.
Hey there.
I don't know how to sort that out, mate. Maybe turn it up.
That might be on my end. Oh, I think I'm just telling it then. Right, Ned Claw. I think I've got you here now. I can still hear you, but it's just really quiet in my ear. You got the podium based on penalties. You want to just talk us through your Japanese race at Suzuka?
Yeah. For me, probably my best race this season. For qualifying in the top 5, I just had clean air all the way, really. I didn't really... V-dubs gave me the most pressure all race. Other than that, I think it was a fairly clean race. Apart from there was a collision with Rush, but I don't know what happened there. He was behind me and I think he crashed into me. I got a damaged wing after that from the rear.
We saw you having a good battle with Gaz in the later stages of that race, but you're one of the few drivers to go on the soft tyre following the safety car period, and we were kind of sitting, oh bye Freeman, we were sitting kind of hypothesising how that was going to really play out,
Well,
and it didn't really get the full effect. So like, would you want to just like talk to us through what was kind of going through your thought process, the team's thought process in putting you on the soft tyre, but at the end it just kind of seemed to rubber into the ground as
what I
Gaz
did
was catching you on
I
hards.
know the safety car comes out on the 3 laps, so I was thinking as soon as that safety car came out, 3 laps time is going to be my pit window. But what I did was just as I was there, I was at the front of the grid, I was in P1, dived in and then came out on the softs and didn't heat my tyres up and just stayed as slow and steady as I could through the safety car until the lap we were about to launch, and then I heated them up and I launched the tyres after putting them on with only 2% wear on them, so they were fairly new, they were brand new on the safety car launch and they just worked.
They definitely did at the start of the safety, on the restart. You were able to get by Craig, who like Gareth and Doug Zenon ended up finishing first and second, but Craig just really couldn't get his mediums up and running following the restart, so you and Gaz were able to slip by, and then he's provided a good bit of wheel-to-wheel racing in the final laps there, so like you want to just kind of like talk to well, obviously talk to us and then talk to like the viewers, just kind of like talking us through that battle and just how close it really was between the pair of you. We did see Gaz making the move nearly like right at the end there, but at the end, in the end up in the final result, he ended up losing up on penalties.
Yeah, I seen further back in the race, I seen a penalty come up for Gaz twice, so I knew he had 6 seconds, and I knew I only had 3. And I pulled away from him, I think 2 laps before he caught me. I was pulling away from him, Jeff was telling me, and I made a mistake in the first sector and he caught up to me again and I couldn't hold him off. So he came past me fairly nice and clean, so I just slipped in behind him and I only had 2 laps to try and make a move, and I kept making mistakes. I knew I had straight line speed on him, I knew I had everything saved up for the last 2 laps, so I ran Rich and full ERS on the overtake to try and keep up with him and stay with him, just so he didn't pull that gap on me, and it worked. So I knew I got P3 as soon as I came around that chicane, and I was sitting on his bumper, so I knew there was no need to go for the overtake on that chicane, which I could have done. I could have tried the inside line, but I didn't really feel I needed to.
Definitely.
That was it, really.
Definitely no one.
I run telemetry on the screen when I race, so I know the cars around me's penalties.
Aye. No, I mean, if the penalties are there and they kind of amount to more time than what you've picked up, then it's no worth going for the move. But I'll just extend a congratulations to you again for achieving the podium, and it was a very strong drive
I think
for
it's my
yourself.
first podium this season as well. I know it's my first time in the top 5 for qualifying, so if I got my first podium this season, I'm pretty happy with that. And
that'll definitely,
yeah, man.
lift up the momentum for Mexico.
Knowing my teammate had a quali ban, and knowing I don't think he even finished in the points or finished at all, so it's good points for Renault on the hand that my teammate is doing really well in the championship, so it's unfortunate for him.
Aye, Lewis unfortunately had a retirement. He didn't even make it through turn 2 in the first lap before retiring, so you were left to fly the flag for Renault. And I think Renault can be quite happy with you taking a solid podium and solid 15 points back to Enstone and prepare yourself for Mexico. So we can only extend a congratulations and a well done to a podium finish.
Thank you very much.
We can see that moving forward. That'll move us swiftly on to Gareth. McLaren is Gareth there?
Yes, I'm here, buddy.
McLaren had a tale of two fortunes. Steve-O had a bit of issue in qualifying after being disqualified quite harshly, and then just couldn't get it together in the race. But yourself, you were blisteringly quick in the second qualifying session. You were only a few tenths off Dark Zen in qualifying, sharing the front row with him. So you really showed to us you had real pace here at Suzuka this weekend.
Yeah, the car felt really solid in qualifying. Not so good with the full fuel load. Back was a little loose. But yeah, you know, once we got the fuel gone and we settled down into the race, yeah, the setup felt really, really positive, to be fair. It was just unfortunate that Steve-O didn't manage to get his setup hooked up and get up there with me.
It was a bit unfortunate. Like, we talked to Steve-O shortly after his qualifying disqualification, and he just says it wasn't a track for him. Is it a personal favourite for you, or are you just more or less the same?
Definitely
I mean, your performance
not.
probably kind of emphasises that you quite like the circuit and you kind of know your way about it.
The setup is decent, but like last time out, I think I brought out 2 safety cars for spinning under the bridge and hitting the barrier. I can't even recall if I finished the race. So, you know, like, objectives today was to keep it on the asphalt and get over the line. So, you know, to come away with a points finish is always good, but to be up on the podium, you know, that's a lovely feeling too.
No, it definitely is. It brings a strong haul of points back to Woking, and hopefully kind of lifts the spirits as we head to Mexico next week. But I mean, safety car period came out. Dark Zenith had already picked up his 5-second time penalty for speed. He had a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So were you being made aware of that after the safety car period? Did you did you just try and keep within that 5-second gap? Dark Zenith just seemed to have a wee bit extra pace in his walker, but was it just a matter of just trying to keep within that gap near the end of the race there?
Yeah, well, that was 2 key points in the race. The first one was when Scott bolted off the light and got past me. He's so hard to get around. So I knew, like, if I just kept putting the pressure on, you know, something could happen. He might make a mistake. He might leave the door open. Unfortunately, you know, caused himself to spin. Then we got bunched back up with the safety car. So I thought, right, okay, this is my time. Let's see if we can at least stay with him. And yeah, the penalty was the objective. Right, let's stay within the 6 seconds. But You know, Xenon just stuck the pedal down and just kept pulling and pulling and pulling, and then it was a case of, right, okay, I'm not going to push beyond my ability and risk second place. So yeah, it was just maintain and drive it home.
Was there? I mean, we were sitting, myself and Freeman. I mean, Freeman's not even gave me the courtesy to come back in and rejoin us, but we were sitting talking under the safety car period, and you'll probably have heard me discussing it with Ned Claude just there. But under the safety car period, we saw a real differentiation in terms of tyre setup. We saw some people opting to stick with the medium tyres that they'd put on in the pit window, and then you saw some people coming in to put soft tyres onto the end. Was that ever an option for yourself, or were you just kind of quite rooted to what you had on your car at the time?
Yeah, I don't like to mess with the setups, but I was sort of, my idea was I'll follow what Xenon did. If he pitted, I would have pitted, just to make sure we both had a battle with fresh tyres on. That was sort of, I waited to see what he did. He didn't pit, so I stayed with him. I'd rather keep track position than have a fresh set of tyres.
I feel like track position is majority, especially given the nature of the Suzuka circuit as well. So I feel like in the end up, I mean, I don't think there was any right or wrong call to it, because Ned Claude did come in for the softs and he still got the podium, he still made gains, but I mean, he was really racing on really warm rubber near the end of the race. But I mean,
yeah,
we can only I mean, you drove a really stellar race. You showed you had really quick pace, you had a really strong solid setup, and it sounds like one of your better Suzuka performances, given the fact that you were recalling 2 previous races here and you couldn't even remember if you finished the race. But I mean, I'm assuming this one's going to stand a lot higher in the ranking, especially because on 1 you finished and you knew you finished, and 2 it was a second place and a solid podium result and 18 points in the bag for yourself and the team.
Yeah, we're definitely going to put this up on the shelf for sure.
Definitely. You can stick that trophy in the mantelpiece or in the team's trophy cabinet, one of the two. But anyway,
No,
well done on
for
the
me.
second place, Gareth.
Thanks a lot.
No worries.
Cheers, pal.
Zenon, you with us?
Well done, buddy.
Zenon,
Yeah, man.
hold to the flag. I don't think. I mean, also I was going to say, I don't think you were ever off the lead, but you were when it came to the pit window and coming to pit. I mean, I was actually going to ask Gareth the same thing, but Gareth pitted a lap early there. Were you aiming to pit on lap 10 when you planned to pit, or was that just to cover the undercut? Because Gareth was looking for alternative strategies and trying to get past you in the early stages. But you're just continuing to build that gap.
I was thinking maybe Gareth would try to get a bit of a jump by pitting a lap early, but then as I was coming down the back straight, I was still gaining a bit, so I was like, I'm just going to stay out, you know, do what Jeff tells me to do, and then I'll come into the pits. But then going into the pits was the major problem, as I literally like slid over the line and hit my wing, so that was basically like 10 seconds lost there. Like, had to fix my wing and also was speeding. I was like, oh my god, how have I just done that? But luckily Gareth came out just behind Jules and someone else, I think, so that kind of saved me there because he was in a bit of traffic. And then
Gareth did try and make the undercut. He pitted on lap 9 for the set of mediums, but he ended up being caught behind Jules and I think it was Zach at the time. Or it was definitely a Red Bull, so it was either Zach or it was Crush. But talk to us about your 5-second time penalty. So I kind of were just kind of highlighting what it was there. Was it just a lapse of concentration? Did you just kind of forget to kind of slow the car down? Like, what can you just tell us? You kind of damaged a bit of your wing and lost 10 seconds in the pits. So was it just a complete lapse of concentration when you were coming in? Were you focusing just on what, like, the timing screens run about you, or?
I think it was just like, you know, it's just like sort of a different line you have to take, and also it's downhill into the pits. I just completely missed the braking point, obviously, because you have to brake a bit earlier than like the driving line tells you, because you're going downhill. Then I've hit my wing, and then I completely forget about the speed limit. So I'm like, oh no, I've just hit my weight. Oh no, I've just got a penalty within the same like second or whatever. Yeah.
I think, I mean, don't get me wrong, like I can probably, I think the drivers would probably agree with me. Like they would probably give you the benefit of the doubt for a speeding penalty in this track because it is downhill and it is very narrow as well. So we'll kind of slide by that. Safety car period kind of came shortly after the pit window. The same kind of question applies. Were you just kind of mirroring what Gareth was doing? Like Gareth was just saying to us there that he was waiting, he was kind of react how you were going to respond under the safety car. Was you quite happy on your medium tyres? Did you ever think about going onto the softs at the end, like what Ned Claw did?
Yeah, I was pretty certain I was going to stick on the mediums. I didn't really want to lose the track position. Like Gareth said, it's very important. I kind of saw that because I was stuck behind Gaz at one point after I pitted, and like that showed how much slower I was then. So I was like, I'm just going to stick on the mediums, whatever. And then with the safety car restart, it's obviously quite a good position for me because you come right off the top of the chicane and I can just blast it round, whereas Gareth has to complete the corner and then blast it round. So I obviously get a bit of an advantage through there. And I was just like, I'm just gonna use a lot of my ERS as quick as possible before the DRS comes in, and then I was just able to build on it from there and get the gap I needed.
I think like we noticed Freeman was kind of updating the viewers in terms of penalties, and we came across your speeding penalty. But I mean, you kind of like, obviously that was going to sit in your head, and you're going to be like, right, I need to kind of put the foot down here. I need to kind of bridge the gap. And on that safety car restart, you got like a really good restart, by the way. Like it was really clean and it was really quick off that final chicane. It wasn't enough for Gareth though, because Gareth was still right there, but both of you's got like a really strong start, and then you had Craig and third who just couldn't get going. So you used to really kind of start to kind of gap at your own pace, and then you continue to extend that gap, but at least a couple of tenths per lap there as well. So you kind of really showed us you had blist on pace, you had an extra couple of tenths in the back pocket, and at the end of the day, you made, I think it was like an 8-second gap you ended up having at the end of the day, because I think it was 3 seconds once the penalty had been applied. So you really kind of highlighted just how quick you can go around this circuit. Is it a favourite of yours? Like, do you have a lot of confidence around Suzuka? Is it like a driver's track like they say it is?
Not gonna lie, I thought I was coming into this race thinking I was gonna retire. I didn't even have a setup 2 weeks ago for this track. Like, I never race it or whatever. So I just think, like with my quali lap, it just linked together perfectly. Like there was only two tenths slower than my time trial lap, and obviously time trial was always quicker. So it was pretty surprising that. And then in the race, I think just like having no one in front of me, the clean air a lot of the time, I was just able just to take it comfortably round. And then, finish it off.
No, that's exactly it as well. And I mean, with the current situation that the league was, the Division 3 race was in as well, we saw Lewis retire early on. We didn't even see Youngie at all for the weekend, and you've went and got maximum points there as well. So you're really kind of strengthening the grip there as well. So we'll look forward to seeing how that goes in Mexico in a week's time. Just a general question for everybody: if we're still here, are we all still here, or have you all just decided to leave?
Yeah, still here.
Yeah, I'm here.
What's your general thoughts on Mexico next week? Is it Mexico next week?
Yeah, Mexico.
Yeah.
I've been saying that with such confidence, and then there's just this one time I'm having a lot of doubt. Could be misleading everybody.
I don't know, it's quite a lot of penalties. But I don't know, I haven't practiced it in ages. I do kind of like it though, similar to Russia.
Yeah, Mexico's another one of them tracks where getting yourself in a good position is key, and just making sure that you stay ahead. I think, especially with Mexico. I think Mexico was another one I DNF'd on. Had a little patch where I just couldn't finish a race.
Yeah, Mexico's a
better
DNF track for me and all.
Well, I'm hoping to see yous off finishing the race next week. Is it better than Japan, though?
No.
Yes.
No.
Those dominance, I thought
I-
it was going to be.
I think Japan is a better track than Mexico.
Yeah.
But that's
I'd agree
because I
with
can
Ned.
finish and have a better race on Japan than I can on Mexico. I struggle to overtake. I make so many mistakes, and I normally hit the wall. So I don't like
Yeah.
I don't like the track on a personal level, but that's just me.
It's a good track to drive. Very interesting track to drive.
Mm-hmm. It's got its own kind of identity to it, if you will.
Yeah.
But no, you've got a week to nail the setup, nail the racing lines, nail the strategy, get it
Oh
all
yeah, my
working
setup
together.
definitely needs work. Jesus.
I'll not
I
be
keep
asking you
crashing
to
and
your
stuff.
setup.
No.
I'll not be asking you to give your setups, your information live to us on the SLR stream, but I'll let you keep that under wraps. And we look forward to seeing you in Mexico in a week's time. So
You
we'll
don't
just
want it, I'm telling you.
I think we'll kind of start to call it there. We'll just continue to congratulate the Frees on your podium. So Ned Claw, after taking the podium there off Gaz on the final lap there, and the penalties apply. So well done to Ned Claw. Gareth, strong qualifying, really quick in the qualifying sessions, really strong race as well. Solidified P2 there. So well done to you, Zenon. Really exceptional pace. The penalty wasn't even enough to knock you off the top step, so well done to you. And we look forward to seeing you in Brazil.
We've got driver.
We've got you just said driver, and we've only had one driver of the day nomination. We did ask on like lap 24, and we've only had one, and it was for Gaz.
Give it a guess then.
Yeah, he did well.
Yeah.
Back from 16th, didn't he?
It was like 16th to third on track and then fourth, so he done really well.
Yeah.
Well, he
I think
actually
Steven
finished
stayed
third.
trickling.
He finished third. Let's give
Aye.
him that. He did finish third, but I took it
Aye.
on penalties. So yeah, I'd give it to Gaz. He had
Aye,
a clean race. He raced wheel to wheel with me for like 5-6 laps, really well. No contact, good.
There you have it. Since you didn't say it in the chat, the podium boys have gave us the driver of the day there, and they've not even nominated each other or themselves. But we'll wrap it up there. Gaz is your driver of the day. Ned Clark, Gareth, and Dark Zenon are your podium winners here in Japan. Be sure to tune into SLR's Division 1 race round Suzuka for the final time this weekend. Tomorrow it's Sunday, 7 o'clock British Standard Time, and we will be here on Saturday the 9th of May, same time again, 9 PM for the race round Mexico City. Well, the Mexico City GP, not the actual city itself, but we look forward to having you then, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow with the commentary team on tomorrow, and I'll round up there. So a further well done, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Peace out,
Stay safe.
everyone.
Thanks.